Yeah, you know me, anything is possible to creed. The key on the mic, I'm the truth, no fantasy. Podcast flow, old school vibe guaranteed. AIP, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than a philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. Jumped on the beat like a classic cassette. Late night talk, the vibe you won't forget. Dropping wisdom gems, the grind is set. Every story told, ain't no limits met. You open the mind, the world opens wide. On this podcast, real thoughts collide. From the cooks in the kitchen to the suits we chide. Dreams get bigger when the truth's supplied. Sip on success like it's poured in a mug. Real talk, no BS, no need for a shrug. In your ear like an anthem, snug as a hug. Tune in, feel the buzz, plug after plug. AIP, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than a philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. AIP, every listener knows. Breaking barriers, smashing the foes. Convos deeper than the philosopher's prose. We planting seeds, watch how it grows. Watch how it grows. Watch how it grows. In the swamp where the secrets lay thick. Whispers in the shadows, they hit like a brick. Talking with the moon, got the stars in a twist. Truth or illusion, the facts get dismissed. Talking with conspiracy, whispers in the air. Truth in the trenches, but who really care? From the dirty south where the legends get made. Stories in the dark, watch the shadows parade. Slick tongues spin tales like a spider on a thread. Hood prophets preach knowledge while the streets stay fed. Voices echo deep where the rivers don't flow. Lost truths buried under where the cold winds blow. Heavy bass thump, got the block hypnotized. Mysteries unfold under blood red skies. Voices in the static, they creep through the scene. Street sermons spill truths, but they cut like a guillotine. Talking with conspiracy, whispers in the air. Truth in the trenches, but who really care? From the dirty south where the legends get made. Stories in the dark, watch the shadows parade.
All you ever hear about in this country is our differences. It's all they ever talk about. Politicians and the media, always pushing the things that separate us, things that make us different. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing. Fairly simple thing happens to work. Anything that's different about us, you know that's what they're pushing at you. Racial differences, religious, ethnic, national backgrounds, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do to keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank.
It's a big club, and you ain't in it. You and I are not in the big club.
Welcome everybody back to the AIP channel and Talking with Conspiracy. Well, we got another great one right here. We got the great Mike Gatto with us tonight. We're going to have some great conversation with him and tell us a little thing or two about California and who knows where else we're going to go for sure. Appreciate you, and if you would just let people know who you are and what you're about, Mr. Gatto.
Sounds good, Ricky. It's great to be here. Honored to be here. Thank you so much for having me. My name is Mike Gatto. I'm best known as a former California legislator. I rose the ranks, got elected to 4 terms in the California state legislature. I'm also a fixture on many news stations that you probably watch. I give the perspective of a California Democrat, but I do it without taking life too seriously, without taking our positions too seriously, and and I'm not afraid to call us out when I think that we're doing something wrong. And finally, I'm also a co-host on a history podcast where we dive into a lot of different, conspiracy theories and amazing parts of history from going back to Roman times, all the way up to the present time. And so I love this stuff, as you can tell from the books behind me. And so I'm just really excited to be here tonight.
Awesome. That sounds cool. That podcast sounds really cool. I'll have to check that out and for sure, because I love history and checking out that stuff. I'll have my TV on different stuff all the time on YouTube, just watching different documentaries and stuff all the time, just playing in the background. I sure enjoy it. Just learning, because if you don't learn history, you're doomed to repeat it, as they say. So
Absolutely.
we need to learn. So, tell us about, I know you said you had 4 tours in California. What did you learn, and what do you think we could do better out there? I know there's a lot of problems here and there,
Yeah.
what do you think they could actually do to actually improve some of these situations? I mean, I know that right, Republican, Democrat, but I mean, we're all people.
Yeah.
I think we need to do away with that. Stop thinking that broad of the side of you're picking a side no matter if you like the person or not. We can't. That's what got us into the situation we're in now, is we're picking sides. Well, I'm just voting because I'm a lifelong Democrat, or I'm a lifelong Republican, and instead of actually looking at the character of the people and actually looking at the people,
Yeah.
and what they're actually saying, and looking into what they're saying. So, what do you think on?
Yeah. So I mean, so first of all, you raise a very good point, and it's something that people have loosely talked about in the state of California, which is what would happen if we were to ban political parties from being on the ballot. And the theory would be, I mean, look, people can do research. They can find out who's a Democrat, who's a Republican. They can also, people are going to make their thoughts known during the course of a political campaign, or an incumbent. They're going to let people know if they're a Democrat or Republican. But what would it do for voting, right? If, most people are familiar with the race for president, they're familiar with the race for governor and senator. But as they get to page 20 in the ballot, they don't know anything about the person except the party. And what would it do if we took the party off the ballot, right? And it forced people to actually research, who is this guy? What does he stand for, right? I like that idea. I think it's intriguing. It also would send a very not so subtle message to the country that we are one people, and that positions matter more than parties. Now, you asked me, what could we do better in California? How much time do we have? I mean, it's a long list, and there's a lot of things we could do better here. You also asked me what I learned, and that's maybe the thing that I can lead off with, because I like giving people a little window into what life is like. I try to speak real. I try to be honest, and people don't always know what it's like being in office. So, first of all, the lead-in had today's lead-in had 2 great little vignettes from George Carlin, one of the greatest comedians who ever lived. And I think what he said is really true. There really is an elite in this country, and they keep the tax code, and they keep, they give, in many cases, they fund both parties. And there is some truth to the fact that it's like they do want us to just fight. I actually believe, too, that foreign powers want us to fight. I believe that China and Russia and anybody who wants to weaken the United States of America is, out there kind of encouraging and funding different groups to go at it. Before anyone says, "Oh my God, that's a conspiracy theory." Well, I mean, look, we do it too, right? I mean, our intelligence services, whenever we want to create havoc in a country, the Arab Spring, for example, we go into a country and we just try to divide and conquer. We try to get everybody really whipped up on social media or regular media, and we want to get them fighting each other, and that opens the door for a coup or a change in government. And I think right now the country's really divided. It is not, that's not our imagination. We can say a lot of things like, oh, the kids aren't this, the kids aren't that. Some of that stuff is subjective, but the country is very, very divided. And so anybody who speaks up and just says, "Hey, you know what? We're all Americans. Maybe we should be considering what's best for us as a country." That's how we should be thinking. But you can't find that thinking in too many places these days.
It is hard to see, it really is. And, more and more, like, people are just, and I agree that, all the way to the top is, we've seen that over the history where, where banks have funded both sides of wars. And we've talked about it on the show, like different. I've done a lot of deep dives. I've been looking into it, like a lot of projects and stuff like that. Um, it's kind of a rabbit hole I've been going through and just looking at stuff. And the more I look, the more I see. You're like, well, would they do that? Like, yeah, the CIA's done a lot of amazing, crazy things. Like,
Yes,
overturn all of South America at one point in time, and you look at
for sure.
middle, like you said, the Arab Spring, Egypt, Libya, all that. We've helped, you know, and brought some democracy, to many places. And so, yeah, they want us to fight. And I think and they use the media and they use all that to use the power of the media to turn around and, okay, well, this is where you need to be upset about, and sometimes if you take that two steps back and look at it, it's like, this is trivial stuff of what's really going on in the world. But that's what they got as well, because some people are really passionate about certain little small items, and it turns around and turns into a fight, and it's where everybody's arguing with each other on Facebook, and people are leaving, families are breaking up because of,
Yep.
it's like this.
Yeah.
Come on, it's some got to give it to me, especially the
It's sad. And
family
I'll give you a
parts.
concrete example. Obviously, I'll give you two concrete examples, right? One comes from politics and one is just an anecdote, right? So, first one is, California had some really catastrophic wildfires, not just last year, but about 8 years ago now. This was the Northern California wildfires. And, for the longest time, right, these wildfires there's a quirk in California law that makes the electric utilities responsible for wildfires if their equipment was involved. And so for the longest time, it was like you had all these people who lost their homes, thousands of people lost their homes, and a lot of people lost their lives. And then you had on the other side, the electric utility trying to stay open and not go bankrupt. And then you had the ratepayers saying, geez, we're going to get screwed, right? So, but what's interesting is I became aware that there was, some hedge fund guys, and what they were doing is it's brilliant, right? So they were buying shares in the utility when it was really, really depressed. They were buying its bonds when they were selling for like 30 cents on the dollar. So they were taking a big ownership position in the company itself. But then on the other side, they were buying the claims of the homeowners who were suing the utility. They were buying the right to collect on behalf of thousands of homeowners, right? And then simultaneously, to have a three-pronged approach, they were lobbying the state of California to have the ratepayers, you and me, bail them out, right? And so it's like heads, tail. I mean, it was like a three-sided coin. Any way they won, right? I mean, it was just so brilliant, but also like it shows that, what George Carlin was saying in the lead-in, like these folks are different and they're pulling strings on all these different sides. The other thing that I learned really recently is, look, you and I probably pay a lot of taxes. I probably pay a lot of taxes because I live in California, probably more than you. But I was talking with a friend of mine, and he's like, taxes are what are put in place by the ultra wealthy, the folks who have control within the government to keep you out of their ranks. It's like, what do you mean by that? Well, it's like if you're a hardworking upper middle class person, there's a term from Henry. I think it stands for high earner, not rich yet. Yeah, Henry. And you could be the most elite doctor, the most elite lawyer, you will never rise to that next level because the tax code is going to get you. But if you are already at that level, if you have vast inherited wealth, if you're a hedge fund person, whatever, you can spend the $30 million on accountants and lawyers to put in place a tax shelter, a tax loophole type of trust that is going to preserve your 500 million for the rest of your life. And you'll never, have to pay massive taxes on it. But if you're the guy who's making, whatever, you're making, really good money in New York or California, and you're on the treadmill, you will never rise that level because you just can't afford the army of accountants. And the taxes are going to get you because your income is more taxable. So there's really something to what George Carlin was saying. And I think that's, it's not a conspiracy theory. There's a lot to it.
No, and especially recently, we've had so many conspiracy theories that have truly been proven right. last year or two, or really last five, a lot of conspiracy theories
Yeah.
that everybody was knocking people down, and been proven right. And so it's there's a system to it, and there's certain people to get to be able to do certain things, and even with them like the hedge fund, like and I know they were having like what they did was Circuit City and Toys R Us, and they tried to do a GameStop where they're trying to make the stock
Yeah.
go down so they could turn around, and it was like, man, it's wild what they can do, and manipulate the system to make them even more money. No matter which way they go, they can make money. No matter what, if it drops, they can make money. They can turn around, and
Yeah.
it's insane how they're able to do such a thing, and
It really
legally,
is. Yeah.
But yeah, we we get, I know, out in California, they got the rail system they're trying to push through, they've been working on forever, and they got
Yeah.
the water and everything else, and of course the homelessness and stuff like that has been
Yeah.
really, really rampant, which is, it's bad everywhere. Um, and
Here's
there's, I know,
here's a conspiracy theory that I believe, with respect to homelessness. Uh, People become homeless for a variety of different reasons, right? I mean, when you and I were growing up, it was often the Vietnam vet coming home who just had what now is known as PTSD, was having a hard time, and there'd be one or two in a community. Um, Sometimes there could be a woman who's fleeing a bad relationship and she's sleeping in her car. But what we're seeing in our cities is a whole different type of homelessness. It's mostly young men who have drug addictions, and in some cases, severe mental illness, and in some cases, both. And there's armies and armies in our big cities of guys like that. And one of the things that I believe will come out, and I believe pieces of it have come out, and I don't think what I'm saying is something that the US intelligence community would disagree with tremendously. I do believe that China and other foreign countries are some of the people who are pushing these drugs on our streets. And if you think about it, like what's the best way to harm the military of a country if, God forbid, there's a huge war, or something that requires lots of manpower? Well, you take out 5 to 10% of the young men, and that is what we are seeing on our cities, right? We're seeing vast numbers of men who are fighting age being literally taken out of the system, where they will probably never be functioning members of society. They definitely will not be able to fight. They will not be having sons of their own. And, even when they're in their 30s or 40s, they will be more of like a ward of the state than somebody who can contribute by paying taxes and doing all these things. And, that is something that I think is a very powerful long game. But again, I think that is something that in our lifetimes, it will emerge that a lot of the drugs that are being pushed in our cities, they are coming from foreign intelligence sources.
it wouldn't surprise me none, and I would bet, and I agree with you. I can see that we turn around and you hurt the system, and then even when the ones are like veterans coming back over here, and then they get with their PTSD, and they get hooked on stuff, and some of them are the ones that we still got veterans on the street, even to this day. And then of course, if you get them hooked on drugs, if something big happens where you got to start, God forbid we had to do a draft where you start bringing people in, well, they're not going to be any count to even try to bring in, even though they got experience to. And
Precisely.
so so
Precisely.
we can, it will knock a lot of population out on that. And I wonder, on the other side of things is, there's so many people. We've seen this with the, a lot of the shooters and stuff like that. They're bringing out. Seen a lot of people talk about it. It's like, a lot of people are on a lot of major medication.
Yes, they
And
are.
um, you know, and for, and so prescribed medication, and and truly, some of those Prozac, people on Prozac and stuff like that. We don't need them over there. Well,
Yes.
maybe we do. Maybe we put them on the front line or something. But
Yeah.
and take their medicine away. Like, here you go. Here's your gun, and take your medicine away. Let you rip.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
seriously, it's there's that issue too with our medical. Like, there's so many people that's so highly drugged up, and some do need it, and then but I really do believe a lot of it's over prescribed.
Oh, of
Um,
course.
you know,
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, big pharma, right? They're the original big. I guess big tobacco is another one, but big pharma is very big.
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it always, it's been like that for, big time. We we're learning now. If you look back in history, like big tobacco was sitting there, and it was propaganda about doctors and everything. We found that out. It came out for sure in the '90s. A lot of people knew before that, but it came out in the '90s, and it was. Let me bring Jamie in on here, Mister Jamie Grant,
Mic check, mic check. Good day, good evening, something like that.
something like that.
Hey, Jamie, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. Dealing with technical issues as always, man. My GoPro hates my laptop, and
That's why I switched. I'll send you a link to the one I got, and I think you'll like it. If you get
all
this
right,
camera I got here, I think you'll like it.
Mr.
Um,
Gatto, I apologize, brother. Sorry to hold you guys up, man.
we
No,
shot
that's
on off
fine.
on time because he's got a certain amount of time. So I was like, we're just going to
Ye-
go, and if you're able to make it, I was hoping you'd be over here to help kind of um, you know help me ask questions and stuff. We all fellas, we always do good
In the
ideas
last 20 minutes, we solved world hunger and world peace, and
and
came up with
homelessness.
3 more conspiracy theories that yeah. And I think no, but in all seriousness, we did talk about some really cool ways to improve our country coming together, and then we talked about 3 or 4, minor conspiracy theories that I think we both can agree, or a lot of people could agree are probably true.
Right on, right on. Good deal. Well, I will just post in and jump in where I can then. Since y'all
Great,
are already rolling, please don't let me interrupt you. Just keep on. I've got some questions for you before you close out, and
sounds good.
um,
Yeah, I got about another 15 minutes, so let's have at it. Ask me anything, as they say.
Go
well,
So
I
go ahead,
was
Jamie. Let it rip.
curious to know. I was curious to know about some of the efforts that you had about trying to keep film and TV inside Hollywood, and how that went. I know that different studios are popping up across the country, and what your role is in trying to keep Hollywood active and keep those studios running.
great question. Okay. And I'm going to give you a nuanced and an honest answer. I don't know any other way to be. Okay. I represented a district, 500,000 people, and it was centered in Hollywood, California, like the actual Los Angeles neighborhood of Hollywood. I represented Hollywood, East Hollywood, North Hollywood, Burbank, which is, where a lot of the studios are, where Johnny Carson films, so on and so forth. Glendale, Silver Lake, Los Feliz, Atwater, La Cañada, La Crescenta. Okay, so this was like ground zero of the entertainment industry. In one of my cities, Burbank, it was estimated that 1 in 5 people worked in the entertainment industry. And we're not talking like Tom Cruise folks. We're talking like, working class folks who, build the sets, carpenters. We're talking guys who do sound editing and stuff like that. So, we started to see a phenomenon called runaway production in the 1990s in California, where people just realized, like, there's other places in the country that have decent weather and they've got some skills, and they don't have all the red tape that California has. So let's go shoot somewhere else. And it even became like, not even in the United States, it became like other countries, right? People are going to other countries to film. So I got really emotional a couple of times because I would be on the campaign trail, young father. I had 2 girls. They're apple of my eye. They're my everything. And, I met a guy once, and he said, I said, how you doing? And there's like tears in his eyes. And he's like, I haven't seen my family, man, for 6 months. And I'm like, why? He's like, well, I've been in Georgia where the jobs are. And, and there's just not enough production anymore in the district. So I felt bad. And I tried to introduce this production tax credit that, basically subsidizes the entertainment industry to keep the jobs here. I'll tell you why, though, that I'm very ambivalent about it. Okay. First of all, Democrats are hypocrites. Okay. We talk about taxes like, oh, they're great and taxes are great and they do all this stuff and, blah, blah, blah. And the government then, spends the money. But then California Democrats will recognize, but you know what, if you lower the taxes on the entertainment industry, like, it'll maybe make the industry thrive. And like, to me, that inherent hypocrisy was troubling, because it's like, you could say this about anything, right? You could say, gee, we really want to have a gold smelter in California, so we're going to get rid of the taxes on gold smelters and we're going to subsidize them, right? I mean, it's just kind of funny. The second thing is it's a race to the bottom. It's a race to the bottom. I mean, California could throw 300 million at it every year, a billion at it every year. Then another jurisdiction will throw a billion too. And just at some point, it's just a race to the bottom. I mean, it's like, who's going to throw more money at this? And why this industry? Like, I get it. They're good jobs, but why not bookbinders? Why not ditch diggers? Like, why? Right. And then the third thing that kind of bothered me about it a little bit was the just the idea about government messing with something that's protected by the First Amendment. We're actually seeing this in California now too, where California last year passed legislation subsidizing newspapers. And it's like, gosh, what could go wrong? The newspapers, which are dying, are going to become dependent on the government for billions of dollars. Like, what could go wrong? The government giving money to the people that are covering the government. I mean, so I just started to have some second thoughts about it. Don't get me wrong. These are great jobs. Love the jobs. I feel bad for the families, but I don't know if this is the long-term best plan that we can do.
Right. You see, different markets overseas now where there are a lot of different countries that there are a lot of countries that they're filming in overseas. And I was just curious, what your role in with that was, and what positives came from it, what negatives may have come
I got
from
the
it.
legislation passed. It was the first time in 20 years. People have been trying it for a long time, and we got it done. But look, it doesn't mean that
Is it the right answer? Right. Is it the right answer?
Exactly.
When you talk about the money that's wasted, through different programs that are subsidized, we hear about the train that never went anywhere in California with the money that was wasted there, the different homeless initiatives that are constantly just end wells that, they're bottomless pits that have money thrown into it, but we don't see a change in that. One big question I have for you in regards to California as a whole, there's a current campaign by Governor Newsom right now to try to prove that through social media that California is one of the lowest crime states of any jurisdiction. You see this constant campaign where, Mississippi has more crime, Tennessee has more crime. What would you say to that, living, on the coast in LA and around these areas? How has crime come down, or is it just a manufactured number that's being used?
Yeah, so I think that campaign is largely nonsense. Now, I'll explain. There are two types of crime statistics. There's murders and there's everything else. Murders, right? You can't really fudge. And I will be one of the first, to acknowledge, because it's a fact, that murders are down nationwide compared to the 80s or 90s or whatever, metric you use. There are very complex sociological reasons why that is. Nobody really knows. Some people have argued that it's just generational differences. It's advances in DNA technology, which make people think they're going to be caught. It could just be that there's security cameras everywhere, right? Murders are down. That's a statistic you can't really fake because there's a body, right? You really can't cover up a murder, okay? I mean, like, the police forces can't really do it. However, the other crimes, property crimes in our cities in California, things like burglary, really, really nasty robberies where, people are getting hit over the head and things like that. Those crimes, the statistics are absolutely 100% full of it. And I'll tell you why. Let's go through the process of how a crime gets reported. So my wife and I have a friend who lives in our old neighborhood in Hollywood, and she's a youngish woman, and there's a homeless fellow who has taken a liking to her, and he believes that the way to show his like for her is to chase her with a machete. Okay. She calls the LAPD and is like, there's a guy chasing me with a machete. They're like, well, has he hit you? And it's like, well, no, I'm trying to avoid that. Right. And it's like, well, we're kind of busy. Right. Okay. Now, believe it or not, this is what happens in LA. And I want to go right into what I'm talking about, how the statistics are manipulated. For a crime to become a stat, first of all, the person has to call the police. in a lot of our cities, in San Francisco and Los Angeles, if somebody bashes out your back window and steals your radio, you don't even call the police anymore. You don't even report it, because what you're just going to lose another 2 hours of your day while they come there to take the report. Number two, the police have to come. Okay. And in a lot of cities, they're like, we're busy. Sorry. Like, there's another homeless guy pooping on the sidewalk. We're not going to come out. Number three, after they show up, they have to take a report. Okay. They have to actually take a report. And in some cases, that involves a lot of paperwork, and they don't always like to do it, especially if people aren't going to be prosecuted. The fourth step, they actually got to arrest somebody. They got to find somebody and arrest them. And then once they arrest them, they have to book them. They have to take the added step of driving that person downtown in traffic, maybe an hour, and actually book that person. Once that person is booked, they have to be charged. And maybe in some other cities, you're like, well, Mike, this stuff happens all the time. Let me tell you, in Los Angeles, this does not happen, right? Like, we had a DA who just got kicked out of office by the voters. He was just not charging people. He was just like, I'm just not going to charge these people. After the person is charged, they actually have to be prosecuted, right? The DA has to actually take the case and go to the court and try to get a conviction. And then that person has to either plea or get convicted or get exonerated, right? And once you have that, it's like, okay, check. Now we have an official burglary or an assault. And you can see that if any link in the chain gets broken, oh, crime is down, right? Don't trust your lying eyes, right? Crime is down. And that's just not the case. Look, born and raised in California, property crimes, things like that, they're way, way, way up. And they're way more significant than when I was a kid.
There's a growing trend where we live in a state that has a Republican governor. We live in a city that has a Democrat mayor. And it seems as if there is, again, a social media campaign among all these Democrat cities to say that crime is down across the board. When the people that live here see a different tale, you know what I mean? I live in the heart of Memphis, Tennessee, and to see our DA and to see our police chief and to see our mayor, who are all known leftists, get on TV and talk about how crime is down and we should be happy that crime is down. Yet a body shows up every week in Memphis, not every week, every day in Memphis. Stolen cars are through the roof. How would you suggest people, look at it or combat that? If there's a coordinated social media effort to prove something true that isn't true, how do you recommend the average citizen combat that?
I think the best way to combat it is at the ballot box. I've said to Democrats, like, this is not a winning strategy, right? Like, going into cities where people are like my window is bashed out, someone broke into my neighbor's house, like the old lady was conked over the head, and then telling them no, crime is down. Like, this is not a winning strategy. This is like when last year people were seeing Joe Biden on TV, and we all have old folks in our families, right? We're all humans, right? And people were seeing this man where he was just a shadow of his former self. And then everybody was like, no, he's just fine. He's great. He's fine. Like right. I think that is not a winning strategy. And so it's almost like, I don't know that the public have to combat this, because it's not going to win. It's not going to be successful. And the people who keep pushing it, saying, don't trust yourself, I just don't know that that's going to be a winning strategy.
Yeah, it's tough, when you live in the heart of it and you see these things that go on, yet, our local leaders keep getting on TV and pushing this narrative that, no, it's all an illusion of what you're seeing. Right. We had a big event yesterday down in Memphis, 2 days ago on Monday. We called it 901 Day. September 1st is known as the 901 Day in Memphis. Big concert downtown. Multiple fights break out on historic Bill Street. Person ends up getting shot on Bill Street, but the mayor and them act like everything is just fine. Yeah. And it's disappointing to listen to. I'm glad that you actually shed some light on it and say, hey, maybe some of this is false, narrative, and it's refreshing to hear you say that, and not just go along.
And by the way, the most effective way that you can fight back, and I do this a lot on my Twitter account, is someone will post crime is down, or actually, that meme, actually crime is down, right? And often it's a reporter, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but wait a second, what's your metric? And they're like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, are you talking about arrests? Are you talking about convictions? Because like
Right.
having convictions down is not a good thing. Like that doesn't really mean that crime is down. It means convictions are down. And like when you get people to think like which phrase of which step of the chain are you talking about? Are you talking 911 calls? Are you talking arrests? Or are you talking convictions? It really gets them thinking, you know? And by the way, I
Ricky,
have
we
a
got some
buddy.
bad feedback right now. I
Uh,
don't know if you're playing with your mic
Not
there.
from
Okay.
me. I think that's Ricky.
Yeah, from Ricky.
I assume
Sorry,
that was
continue,
just.
Mr. Gatto. I apologize to interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was just saying that you know, just ask them what their metric is. Are you talking 911 calls? You talking convictions? You talking arrests? You know, what's your metric? And that usually is enough to get them like, wow, I didn't think about it like that. It's like, yeah, you know,
Right.
what's your
I, I
metric?
did I did read that you were actually a victim of violent crime
Yeah.
in your family, and that your father was. Has there ever been any movement in that case, or are they still active pursuing it with DNA evidence, or is that just stopped now?
Yeah, I mean, it is technically a cold case. You know, my father was, for those who don't know, my father was murdered in his home in Los Angeles. Let's see, 12 years ago now, almost 12 years ago, in November of 2013. It's one of the reasons why I'm no longer in politics. I feel like it's an open wound, and it's something that I just trying to solve that mystery has been such a journey, and it has taken so much of my time. But I wrote a book about it. But I mean, look, there have been leads. You know, I would get for the first years when I was in office, and everybody knew how to contact me because you know everybody can contact their local politician. I mean, I got all sorts of false leads, and I wrote about some of this in the book. You know, I had people say some crazy things, including Hillary Clinton, right? And
Oh
so,
wow.
yeah, but I mean, the short answer is my dad's case is cold, but the LAPD is still working it. Grateful for that. I'm still working it as best as I can, and we're hoping for answers at some point soon, hopefully through DNA.
Well, I appreciate that update, man. And I definitely don't mean to open up a wound, but I know
No,
that
no, it's fine. It's
being
fine. I
being a
get it.
victim of crime, you have a firsthand knowledge of how some of this stuff works and doesn't work. Obviously,
For
I
sure.
figure with DNA technology these days, everything should be pretty clean and cut.
Yeah.
Um, Very interesting. What made you decide to get into politics? What made you go down that road?
Great question. So, you know, I was running at the depths of the Great Recession. That's when I started my journey, and I had a good job and short commute. It didn't involve a jet because in California you got to fly to the capital, right? At least from Los Angeles. So I had a good job, you know, a young wife and a young baby on the way. But I got tired of shaking my fist at the newspaper and being like, you know, we got to do better. At some point, it's like, oh, you think you can do better? Well, then give up your cushy life and go try to do better. And I sort of just challenged myself. And you know, it's so rewarding to get elected. It's so rewarding to have, in my case, you know, 500,000 people say, we're going to trust you to make these decisions for us. Um, and so, yeah, I really like the idea of just trying to represent my district and, you know, try to do what they needed and what they wanted.
What was one of the most surreal things that hit you once you got office about politics? That kind of set in, and you went, "Whoa, this is a
Well,
little
like,
more."
okay, get more specific. Are you talking like something that made me like humbled, like, wow, like this is, or
Something that surprised you, something that really caught you off guard. Did you ever get approached by anyone where it's like, hey, we want you to sway one way or the other, or
oh
uh,
yeah,
a
oh yeah,
financial aspect of that? How do you, I mean, most people, when you look at some of these politicians that jump up from zero wealth to all of a sudden being worth 30 or 40 million dollars,
sure,
obviously they're going down a hole that others don't go down. How
sure,
do you maintain your integrity and
yeah.
not?
So 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 California is really strict, and we've had a lot of people arrested over time. There was a huge scandal like 20 years before I ran for office called shrimp scam, where the FBI created a false shrimp company. They went in and they like were given like cash to California lawmakers, and like a whole bunch got arrested, and it was like a huge scandal. So out of that came a lot of reforms. Like for example, when I was in office, if somebody took me to dinner and they spent more than $50, I had to report it. I had to report their name and what they gave me and everything like that. And the newspapers were very kind to me because, you know, I had a birthday party for one of my daughters at the time. And I actually had to go around the birthday party being like, that dress you bought her, this is so awkward. I hate to ask this, but did you spend more than $50? And if so, I got to write down your name and like,
Right.
and it's like, cause your family, is reported on your report. So, but I'll tell you a really funny story that illustrates just how paranoid I was. And, cause I believe there is a cohort of people in politics who are ethical and stay ethical. So I was chair of appropriations, a really powerful committee, and we had the power to veto bills in the legislature, basically stop them in their tracks, which is a rare power that committees have. And there is a bill on, and I'm not making this up, there is a bill on testing dogs' ears. There's a lot of shampoos and stuff that they test them on dogs' ears. And the dogs are kept in horrible conditions and the dogs often die. And it's a thing. Like, this is how shampoos are tested. It's kind of cruel. And, very good bill. There's no reason why I wasn't going to support it. We got an email from the lobbyist supporting the bill. He was not a elite lobbyist. He was sort of an older guy. And in the email, we kind of thought he was drunk. And he's like, Mike, like this bill really means a lot to me. You've got to get it. Like, how much will it take to get it out? Like, what do you need? Do you need me to like throw a fundraiser for you? And I was like, whoa. And so I had to call the legislative council of the legislature, call the ethics commission of the state and say, we got this email. I was going to let the bill out. It's about testing animal ears. But what do we do? And they're like, you have to kill the bill. And I was like, what are you talking about? They're like, well, he's offered you a bribe. And whether you've accepted it or not, he's offered you one. So if you let the bill out, that is actually technically bribery by the definition. And the public wouldn't know if you accepted it or not. So you have to kill the bill. So I had to go and kill a bill on dog testing, on testing shampoo on hounds' ears. And I could not tell the story until I left office. And so it was such a relief to
Now, is that a strategy? I mean, could
Yes.
that be used?
Yes. Brilliant question. Cause that came out during Shrimp Scam. People were like, man, if the FBI just goes in and they want to kill Eddie Bill, they can just walk into an office and be like, I'll give you $5 to pass the bill. They can kill it. And there's actually people who argue that in court. Like, this is a weird power, right? And so
was the gentleman prosecuted for anything, or was he?
No, he wasn't prosecuted. I think they called him and they figured out that he was indeed drunk when he sent it. And and I don't know. It was really a weird story, but yeah, it's
So basically, if we want any bill killed on the floor, all we have to do is call and make a proposal.
Don't commit a felony, though. I mean, that's the thing, is you have to actually commit the felony to
My
do that.
God.
You have to actually make the attempted bribe. But yeah, if you really means a lot to you, you probably could kill a bill that way.
Do you think that prosecution of stuff like that is very selective
Yeah,
on who they
I
go
think
after?
so. I think so. I think this is my belief, and I don't know that I've ever articulated this that well, but let me try to articulate it. I believe that every single person in politics is human. And I believe that everybody has something that they could criticize. For some people, it's cheating on their spouses. For some people, it's horrible personal finances. And it goes all the way up to the most dastardly people who accept bribes and do stuff like that. It's a continuum. There's different types of, Achilles heels, but I believe that everybody has something. And sometimes you wonder, why does stuff come out? Why did stuff come out on this guy, but then the other guy was doing the same thing and nothing came out? And the answer is, well, this guy pissed off the wrong people, right? And you look at your whole life, anybody looks at their whole life, it's like, well, there's always something that you've done that people could say that's horrible. And they can make it up if you haven't done anything. And so sometimes I do think, yeah, there are invisible hands that pull the strings and they release stuff on people that they do not like.
If you had a piece of advice to give to somebody that wanted to jump into politics, what advice would you give that person?
In this time, be authentic. That is by far the most important thing. The public does not trust us. The JFK assassination was the first step down. And then Vietnam was boom, another step down. And then Watergate was a big step down. And then all the shit that happened in the last 20 years was another step down. people don't trust us. And the only way that they can trust you is if you're authentic. Because humans can tell from cues and body language, they can tell if you're being real. And I think, like, as long as you are true to yourself and it shows, then that's what people need right now from politicians. They just need authenticity.
Beautiful, beautiful. I have one final question for you, and then I'll let Ricky take it back over.
Yeah.
Um, in the last 18 months, I've seen a social media campaign running on Facebook and Instagram solely dedicated to September 11. And I wanted to know what your thoughts are on the conspiracy that this was a self-inflicted wound and that other powers were involved other than who they tell us was involved. What your opinion on that was?
Great question. There was a Roman author who 2,000 years ago said, if you need the answer to a conspiracy theory, just ask the question, cui bono, and that means who benefits, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I think that, it's clear that there are definitely some different folks that benefited from what happened after 9/11 than one might typically think. The way that we handled the wars after that, made some people very, very wealthy too. Um, I have read a lot on this because it's just one of those things that interests me, right? It's like there's such passionate viewpoints on both sides. When all is said and done, I don't have a strong answer to that, and I don't have a strong opinion. I know that some of the victims think it's disrespectful to even talk about this, and I don't mean to hurt them in any way. And I also know that, some of the victims think the opposite. They're like, we want the answers. We just want a true answer, whatever it is. I don't know. Look, I mean, I know that there's all these debates between engineers and scientists about whether, jet fuel could burn the steel enough to take down the buildings and, what happened with the other small building and stuff like that. I mean, it's one of those things where I'm not sure we will ever know. The JFK assassination was so long ago. And the fact that we are still talking about it and we are still
Right.
asking our government to release papers on it, it just goes to show that there's certain things that, I just don't know that we'll ever know.
Beautiful, man. I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
I definitely appreciate it. Well, Ricky, I hope you caught it. I know you were messing with your sound over there, but we just had a great conversation. So,
Yeah, I can hear
I have
everything.
time for one more question. And so do you want to ask the last question or?
Go ahead, Ricky.
I just I appreciate bringing this down a little bit. I know I'm playing. Yeah, my mic decided to be silly, so I don't know what's going on. But I sure appreciate you. I just appreciate you coming on and giving us some good insights and just back and forth and being genuine and stuff like that and wanting to come on here. Just that's awesome, because we're not a big podcast or nothing like that. We're not a big show, and for you to be on TV, been on TV, been on big shows and stuff like that, and want to come over here because we're trying to do something. I just really appreciate it and appreciate your time and hopefully maybe one day we can have you back on sometime down the road.
I would like that. I love your production quality. I love the stuff you talk about, and thank you for having me on. I think podcasts are the way that there's different corners of the country that are reached and different corners of the intellectual broadness of the American people that are reached by different podcasts. And so I, really, really honored to be here. And I do hope to see you guys again soon.
Well, I'll tell you, man, if you ever make it to Memphis, Tennessee, I'll take you to the best barbecue spot in town. We won't have to wear a bulletproof vest. We run a local MMA show here 4 times a year. We've got one coming up in October. October 25th, if you don't have anything going on and find yourself in Memphis.
Send me, awkward to say this on a live podcast, but send me an email about that because I'm a part owner of a local MMA boxing league that is looking to expand to other cities. So send me an email on that and maybe we can get them together.
Dude, let's talk, man. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I'm the voice of Memphis.
That's fantastic. All right, guys, we'll see you again soon.
Thanks, Mike.
Yes,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir. Nice.
Well, that was fun. Dude, I'm so sorry. I could not get my camera to work for nothing, and it's so disappointing, man. So disappointing. Well, I think I threw him for a loop there on the September 11 question.
That's a little bit. But hey, if you go back and listen to what I said to him too, it was I wasn't pulling no punches either. That's straight up, just being
Right.
genuine. I appreciate the. I hadn't really got the chat shout. I know he had a small window of time, so I hadn't get to really shout the chat. So, man, the chat is rock and rolling over here. We got. We'll take just a little break. Does this mic sound okay?
Man, it's
It's
a little bit loud.
It's a little loud. Let me bring it down, man. Let me see. I think I can bring it down. I'm still learning. Yeah, I could tell when I actually unplugged my mic and then it popped over and then it was swapped over to this mic. So I'm like, I'm stuck now. So, well, I just talk a little quieter too. I don't have to talk so loud then. Might just do that. So, I appreciate. I thought I was going to have to scoot up. I guess I only had to scoot up. It's
No, you're loud. I can definitely hear you. You sound you're clear.
Okay, good. And it's that's how it's 4 foot from me right now. So I'm in a box. LJ, appreciate LJ. Yeah, the microphones, technology is wonderful. Technology is great.
So you're not using a GoPro anymore?
No, I'm not using the GoPro anymore. I'll send you his email and remind me when we get done with all this. Just text me.
Absolutely, I'm looking for an announcer job.
Yeah. So text me and I'll get you connected there, and I'll send you the stuff where I got this other new camera.
I'm glad he said what. Go ahead.
Oh, I was reading the chat. Jason Barker were being silly. Knights of the Storm. We got Karen Carpenter and Jason Barker in the chat. We got Karen Peterson in the Rumble chat. Where's my mic? So who we got? Handy. Of course, we got Sweets. Sweets is always going to be here.
Sweets is always there.
Raz is back for another fun show. LJ is here. Let's see. Pigeon Verse popped in earlier. I don't think they're already gone though. And let's see. On the YouTube, we got Snooks22, we got Indy, got Lily, got Catastrophe, got Matt Sal. We got Shane, the blind psychonaut. He was with me Friday night. I don't know if you got to see that. That was a pretty good actual show. We pop up Friday night show. I had him and Karen Carpenter. We had a good discussion about dreams and Ouija boards and all kinds of stuff. It was pretty cool.
Ouija board.
We started off with Ouija board, and then we just went on to being our normal, having a conversation. Monique popped in. Monkey popped in. My daughter waved at me, so she's let me know she's there, so that's cool. But she's about to get married soon in just a few more days. So
Congratulations.
You'll see pictures. You'll see pictures of me all dressed up.
I'm gonna wear
best I can be.
Huh?
No. She just told me I just got to wear a vest. I just got to wear a vest, but I bought a tie, but it's got little bitty small Punisher skulls in it, so it's real faint, so it's hard to see. Just being me,
You got to be you, man. You got to be you.
That's it. You know me. I got to be me. But yeah, that's a chat. We appreciate y'all, and looks like y'all are enjoying Mike's content and what he was saying. Hopefully, I've got this mic turned down enough where it's not blowing nobody's eardrums out. I know I can fix it in post, but right now, hopefully, this is a little better. It's always just something. There's always something.
Well, he was a pretty nice guy, man.
He was super cool, you know. That was super cool. I didn't know what to think, and he enjoyed George Carlin in the beginning. He was commenting on George Carlin being on the beginning on the intro,
Right.
you know, and he would agree that there's a level, there's a elite that that, we talked about them funding both sides of wars and funding both sides of both parties, and kind of we
Soros
talked
family,
about
baby.
we brought up, maybe if he we brought up about having he made an idea of, like, especially for the smaller, like for what he ran, and the smaller politicians you think about, and he made a good point for the ones that missed him. And you on like next year you're gonna be voting, you're gonna vote for a new governor, or you're gonna vote for whatever, you go down the thing, or your president, and you go down a list. Well, once you get about halfway down that list, you don't know who them damn people are. You're
Right.
voting party, you're not voting people. And that's one thing. Maybe you could put them. You would put them on not a party where you can't see who they are. You have to look them up. Or truly, we need to look and see what these people are doing and what they're actually going around. And these are the ones that are making progress for us. The governors, yeah, they do stuff. Presidents do stuff, very important. But these local politicians are what affects our day-to-day lives, and that's the ones we need to mess with, for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. And Memphis is just like that. When you get, past your first top 4 or 5 spots, nobody knows who the hell those people are. And that's how we end up with people like Tammy Sawyer in office, or, this other lady, whatever the hell her name is, that's ruining the clerk's, not the clerk seat, the tax commission, the tax lady over the tag office. That's a voted freaking position, and I think they've got a little bit of that straightened out, though, where it doesn't take you a month to get a freaking license plate anymore. So, yeah, good times, man.
Oh, for
Good
sure.
times. I don't know, man. So what have you seen in the news run the last day or two that's been interesting?
Well, those ladies are come out and said they're going to drop the list themselves for the Epstein list. They need to go ahead.
How many of those people do you think are going to get murdered in the next 24 hours?
Yeah, they better.
I don't mean to laugh.
watching.
I do not mean to laugh, but oh my God.
No.
I mean, if they killed fucking Jeffrey Epstein in a maximum security jail, which one of these ladies is fixing to get mugged on her way home from work? You know what I mean? Come on, man.
I did see they brought him on CNN. I think I saved that video too, but they brought him on CNN trying to incriminate Donald Trump, and they're like, "No, we didn't see."
It backfired on him. Yeah, I heard about that.
Of course, we got China showing off their military and some new weapons. And
well, did you see what Janine Pirro posted this morning? So they, I just had that up. Oh,
I
here
did
it
not
is,
see
right
where
here.
she posted.
700,000 pounds of I don't know what chemical this is, but it's used to manufacture methamphetamine, and it came out of China. The precursor chemical used to manufacture methamphetamine. They nailed that this morning. It was on its way to the Sinaloa cartel, and dude, just drum after drum after drum of 55-gallon drum. And then everybody's blasting DT for hitting that freaking speedboat. And I just, so the ethical question is drug trafficking punishable by death, right? Well, they've been declared a terrorist organization by the United States. So, yeah, it is. I mean, you're going to get popped if you're running a narco boat through the Caribbean. Okay, so, and I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Pop these bitches. You know,
It looked like a laser hit that motherfucker though.
bro.
It looked
Yeah,
like a
like
laser shot it.
where was the freaking incoming missile? You
It
know,
wasn't no
like
missile.
I
That
didn't.
was a laser popped it. A laser popped that thing.
You think so?
Yeah, you watch the video. It wasn't no missile explosion like that. It hit. It was bright light. That was that was laser technology. Exactly.
Speaking of alternative technology, I watched a video yesterday, and this is why I brought up the September 11 social media campaign, bro. And I think I sent this to you, but I watched a video yesterday that talked about um the way the towers collapsed, that they powderized, right? And they they talk about this compound that they've got now that literally causes steel to disintegrate, right? And this theory was, and this is mixed in with all the other theories, but this theory is that some kind of detonation happened at that facility where whatever this agent is caused the beams to literally disintegrate. You know, and you can kind of see it in one of the news stories that as the tower comes down, the center columns of the building where the main shaft was that held the building together, you can still see them remaining in the middle, and then they just powderize. Like they didn't fall over and tip over, they literally look like they just crumbled into small pieces of ash. You know, it was the craziest looking video I saw, man. Um, I've been follow. I think it's called WTC 911 is the name of both of those pages on Instagram and on Facebook. I send you stuff from there frequently when I see it, um, bro. And my theory is that they're they're softening the blow of some information that's going to be dropped. You know, I truly believe that this national, and I meant to ask, damn it, I meant to ask him about the National Guard deployment. Um, So, California Supreme Court said, hey, Donald Trump can't bring National Guard troops in, but you can leave the 300 you already sent here. We're good with that. So, apparently, they're happy with the 300 being there. I don't know if you've seen, but the mayor of New Orleans and the governor of Louisiana have asked for the National Guard to come to New Orleans to help clean that place up. The mayor of, I don't remember if it was Baltimore or not, but I think maybe Baltimore asked for help. And the only people right now that are pushing back is Pritzker and whatever the fuck his faggot name is in. Oh, I just said that, didn't I? Thank Whitney's eyes just lit up. That damn fucking mayor and dude, I can't stand that Belle Biv DeVoe looking motherfucker. You know what I mean? His fancy hair and lion ass. Like Whitney's, her face is beat red right now. I wish you could see her face right now, Ricky. And for anybody that hung around for Gatto, I was very polite and the nice Jamie. But now that Mr. Gatto is gone, 2G's is here.
I was
And
too. I didn't cuss at all when he was here. I was trying to be very professional and I do my best. I mean, I said everything like I would say it. I just didn't make sure I didn't slip any bad words or anything like that.
Whitney is beat fucking red right now, Ricky Pike. Like,
oh, I bet she is. She's laughing over, but she fall off. Don't tell her to call the couch there. What's up, Bex Factor? Yeah, yeah, we talked just on the Gigi show just a little while ago. What's up, Tate? And Hiker is here. We got a full group, but yeah, no, we can have fun now. I mean, I don't know. It's one of them things like, man, we need to get a hold of crime. It's, like he was saying,
It's the
There's
metric that they're using to measure it that's being manipulated, and that's what people don't
yeah.
understand. Take this for example. Murder is the highest form of crime there is. Okay, if your murder rate is higher than it was last year, it's probably fair to say that crime is elevated or on par. Okay. It's hard to say that crime is down when you're tracking to beat last year's number in murder. Okay. So again, what metric are they using to measure that? We just had 901 Day. Bro, the video from the fights that were happening down on Bill Street, that concert ended at 9 o'clock. By 10 o'clock, that place was a fucking war zone, bro. That 17-year-old kid pulled out that AR and lit that place up.
That's, yeah, I've seen the
You know,
videos of it. It's crazy. I think, just like he was, just like Mike was saying, because I had it happen to me when I had my car broken into, and I had the police come to me, and that was back in 2010, 2011. Like, hey, are you sure you want to file a report? And it's like,
you're just wasting
it's
our
really,
time.
wait, and then they said it to me. They straight up said, like, nothing's going to happen. I'm like, yeah, I want you to do your job. So I want
That's
your
right.
numbers to go down. I don't give a shit. I'm here. I'm going
Right.
to take the time. We're going to do it. And so, but like he said, like Mike said, like how many people that don't like, well, fuck it. I'll just go to the junkyard, get another window, or call my insurance. Like, which on insurance, you got to get your
You got
police
to have a
report.
police report. You got to have a police report to
So,
file the
so
insurance.
that's only once. But if you don't have good insurance or you don't want to pay it, hey, I'm going to junkyard or I just pull out of pocket. And usually it's cheaper to pull out of pocket anyway. You get, especially if you got like a $2,000 deductible or some kind of crazy shit like that. Um, it's cheaper to just go ahead and like pull out of pocket and
All right, Ricky Pike, timeout. I just went to the chat. Rumble. I don't know who Raz23 has, but he said we've been getting alert messages all week testing national alert system, and hospitals have been ordered to prepare for 50K casualties in each city. I've not heard that one yet.
Raz is across the pond.
Oh, okay. I've not heard that one yet, but I have heard but we hear them in Memphis pretty regularly on the national alert system testing, but where was the national alert system on September 11th? Because I didn't hear that shit at all. The only real reason I knew things were fucked up was because, one, I watched two towers collapse on TV, and then about an hour later, all FedEx traffic over my house stopped, and I was right in the flight line of Memphis International. And I got to tell you, bro, those few days after September 11, when there was no planes taking off, was one of the eeriest fucking things
Well,
ever.
when you used to it all the time, you get used to that. I lived on Navy bases, and you get used to hearing the planes take off, and all of a sudden it's quiet. It had to been super eerie. I lived out in the country, so it did, that part didn't affect me. But yeah, that was a wild time, and then, but like I said before, and I'm looking forward to next week because we're going to have fun doing 9/11 show next week.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Jason Barker is going to pop on. Hopefully, he's got his internet working again. He said so. He'll be able to come on, and we'll be able to. I'm gonna play with my spread, and I got some more videos to add to it. And I know what the hell I'm doing a little bit more now. I got some more understanding how to work the damn program. So.
And listen, I did not mean to offend anybody by dropping the F-bomb, okay? It just flows out naturally. I'm like a 7th grader still in school, okay? I've never called a gay person that word before, but punk-ass bitches get called it all the time. You know what I mean? Like, Whitney's still red in the face. Did you see the text I sent you, Ricky?
Oh,
Dude, she immediately turned as beet red as you can imagine. And then when I said Belle Biv DeVoe looking motherfucker, she just fell over. Like, she's still laughing.
That's good. We bring humor. We bring humor to her life. This is what we're here for.
Here it is, though. Listen. Like, and I'm sure somebody's gonna be like, "Oh, he's a racist because he's saying all black people look alike." Listen, Drewski just went out at a NASCAR event and went full whiteface, and Black America was like, "Oh, this is the funniest shit ever, bro." Let me tell you something. Let me put some shoe polish on my face and go around as fucking Carl Malone. People are going to lose their mind. You know what I mean? But Drewski all of a sudden is a fucking national folk hero for dressing up as a redneck white guy and going to a NASCAR event.
He looked pretty legit, though. I give him that. He looked.
Hey,
he was pretty fucking funny. I mean,
here's
really,
the deal. Here's the deal, man. Can we just not say he was funny? Can we not just use humor for what it is?
We had Robert Downey Jr. when he dressed up.
I'm just a dude playing a dude, trying to be a dude, whatever the fuck he says, bro. Let me tell you, great.
I'll go full retard, baby.
I'm gonna go. Never go full retard. Never go full retard.
So, I seen. Speaking of that, what's his damn name? That crazy son of a gun comedian. I can't think of his name. But I seen him pop up and said he wants some dreads.
Fucking Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, Vaughn. Yeah, Theo Vaughn said he wants some dreads. So
cultural appropriation. You can't do that. You know. I don't know, man.
Get away with it.
I hate the racism card because people try to throw that trump card out there for their own personal gain, and let's just use
Jimmy Kimmel did boo blackface. Yeah.
Oh yeah, fuck that.
Jimmy Kimmel did it. Like a bunch of who just got fired. Howard Stern did blackface.
Can I say fuck Howard Stern? Like
It wasn't even funny. That wasn't even. I mean, and he did it. It wasn't even damn funny.
Bro, I know it. It was horrible. What a horrible bit he did.
That was. If you go back and watch that skit, like even in context of blackface or whatever, it wasn't funny. Howard Stern really never really was funny. You know, he was just a shock jock.
He was a shock jock. Says retarded shit online all the time. Catch you off guard. Man, fuck Howard Stern, man. I remember when I was a kid, I used to think he was the greatest thing ever. And then as I grew up, I realized this guy's just a fucking retard. You know, yeah. It's amazing how your thoughts and views change as you mature and become a homeowner and start having responsibilities, paying taxes. All of a sudden you're like, damn, maybe I am a conservative. What the fuck? Like, dude, I once quit a job because I felt like my employer insulted my family because I told him I was a Democrat. And I quit probably the best paying job I ever had at fucking 17 years old. You know, I was making fucking $1,000 a week helping a dude lay floor in a house. And I quit. Don't insult my family because I'm stupid.
Well, you were a fucking kid, you know, you didn't know no better.
You know, everybody thinks they can save the world when they're young. And then when you grow up a little bit, you realize that half the world don't want to be saved. They just want your money. Mm-hmm. You know.
I did want to bring that point up. I didn't get a chance to bring it up. You know, on the homeless, there is a percentage of homeless that want to be there. You know, that
exactly,
you know, because truly the homeless. I feel weird as hell not having a microphone sitting in front of me, but the homeless are the truly only free people we have in the nation. They don't pay no taxes. Right. They don't have to worry about none of that shit. All they got to do is worry about getting some food in their belly and staying warm or staying cool as they can, and wake up next day and do it again and just live. You know, and so. There's a group that really don't want to be put back into society and don't want that kind of thing. There is a group that, you know, needs help, like Mike said about, you know, had women, you know, leaving abusive relationships or stuff like that happens, and it happens where they, hey, I got nowhere else to go, you know, family disowned them because of who they were with, and then they turn around and then who they're with was truly terrible, and so they, you know, had nowhere to go, so they went to the streets, you know, and that happens. But those are the ones that do need help. But it's
right.
all the homeless they're talking about, like, if you don't agree right now, like in DC, we're going to basically going to let either you go get help or we're going to lock you up, one or the other. I don't know if that's
Hey,
the
and I'm
answer,
all for that. I am all for no, I'm all for that because in the 1930s, 40s, and 50s, the insane asylums were a thing, right? And a lot of them got shut. And not a lot of them. All of them were eventually shut down because a few of them had very poor practices on how they managed people and how they treated people. Let's just be real with it. Um, I think in today's system that the quality of nurses that we have has significantly fallen. I think that we have people that are in the medical field that truly don't care about people, and the only reason they're there is for the paycheck. And I think that possibly having those people work in some of these facilities would not be a good idea. So I think you really have to have people that care about people that work in these facilities. But I think these mentally ill people, bro, you can't have them on because just like he said, he was talking about the dude that chases the lady around with a fucking machete. Guess what? That dude needs to be locked the fuck up. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, in a prison, no. But should he be in a home somewhere that's capable of giving that dude some kind of piece of quality life where he can live without carrying a machete? Yeah. You know, um, but no, man, you can't have these people living on the streets. You can't have them using opportunity, crimes of opportunity to live life. You know, a lot of times these people break in cars that are open. They don't break the window. They just break in cars that are open, take the shit out the vehicle, go pawn it somewhere. It's a crime of opportunity, you know. And I think they're a nuisance on the society. Think about these bridges that are in Memphis that they just had to clean out from under. I mean, dude, fucking tons of trash, tons and tons of fucking trash, water bottles, plastic containers, styrofoam containers, all the shit that they've collected. And these dudes live up under the underpass. So all they do when they're done with it is they just throw it down the side of the concrete enclave and it goes down and stacks up against the wall there. You know, nah, bro. I'm all for it. Lock these people up, put them in a home, put them in a facility that can try to give them some quality of life and rehab these people, you know, because what I don't want to have to do is use the hole puncher on a motherfucker that's banging on my door at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to get in my house, and these people that walk up and down where I live at, Ricky. These people that walk up and down here on Madison, man, I saw a dude out here the other day, army crawling on the fucking sidewalk, acting like he's carrying a gun, you know, ducking behind
I want to
bushes and
laugh,
shit,
but
popping,
yeah, I want
popping back
to.
out. And all I'm
They're
thinking
crazy.
is
There's a lot of crazies. There's a lot of crazies in that neighborhood. There's a lot of odd,
somebody's gonna see that
unique
guy and
individuals.
fucking shoot him because they think he's got a gun.
Oh
And
yeah,
all he's doing is doing this, you know,
he's, he's got, you know,
and completely
a
out of his
chemical,
fucking mind.
yeah, chemical imbalance, or he's high out the fucking world, or combination of two.
Hey, and I'm gonna tell you
Uh,
something too. Let's talk about chemical
hey,
imbalance real
hey,
quick.
hey, that's something real quick before you do
Yeah,
it. You know, Mike brought that up, and I wouldn't doubt it. I told him I didn't doubt it. He brought this up that he thinks that lots of outside governments like China and and Russia and stuff like that, Mexico too, but they're sending their drugs over here to hurt our young men population. That way, if something happens and we have to go to war and we need people, hey, he just knocked out part of that
we have a
population,
bunch of soy boy kids out there, man, that don't have the ability to do
and
it.
and we got a bunch of former vets and stuff like that that's on the street and got strung out because of situations, and we brought that up, and they're not going to be. We don't need to put them out there, you know.
Right.
And all we get all these, we all these shooters we got. you know, on Prozac, and they're on all these different mentally, you know, changing drugs that change their mind.
Tucker Carlson
Mind-altering
just dropped a
drugs.
special on that.
Yeah, I seen it.
What
I
are,
seen
what
a
are they
little
called?
clip on that.
SSDIs? What are they called? SSRI. Now I don't know what the fuck that stands for. Something receptor whatever. Um, he talked about the company that owns Prozac, and he was like, "Why aren't these people in jail?" You know, the idea of a chemical imbalance in a person's brain is fucking fake. It's a lie. It's something that these psychiatrists use to push this medication. Bro, I was having a conversation with a girlfriend of mine that just moved out of Florida today, and she's listing all the fucking medications she's on to deal with anxiety. Bitch, get a hold of your life, okay? Quit doping yourself up to deal with the reality of the fucked up situation that you've put yourself in. And maybe you can see clear enough that you realize you got to get out of it. You know, masking the shit that's going on with you by taking a bunch of fucking uppers or downers is not the path. I was talking to a girl the other day, bro. She on an upper and a downer. She takes fucking Valium because she's dealing with whatever stress she's dealing with, and then I got to take Adderall because I'm ADHD. Shut up, you fucking drug addict. You know,
I made that comment. I made that comment with Mike that we really, you know, they prescribe some of these drugs. Like, you know, if you
yeah,
could have just, you know, hey, you a little touch. Like, I'm a touch ADD. I'm gonna sit there. Sometimes I'm good on focusing what I'm doing. Sometimes, you know, you watching right now. I'm kind of fidgeting back and forth a little bit. Do I need to be medicated? No, I don't need to be medicated. I'm fully functional. Everything is fine. But if you turn around and if I went to the doctor and said, "Man, I might be ADD. Will you check me and see?" Oh, yes, sir. You fucking are.
drugs.
Here we go. Here's your sack full. And I'm like, and then my whole mind is gone. And then I'm like, I don't give a shit. I'm a zombie. A lot of people they comment on that. They take that kind of medication. Like, man, I don't give a shit about nothing. I don't care. And that's what they want us to be at. They want us not giving a shit. They don't want us
They
to
said that
care. That way they can run over us
20%,
with a truck.
20% of the population right now is on some form of SSRIs. 20 fucking percent of the population is on an antidepressant. Oh my God.
Uh,
Like,
65 million we have or something like that, somewhere around there.
and the crazy thing about that, Ricky Pike, is if you were to break that down by the demographic of political party, the Democrat Party is the most medicated group of individuals you can imagine. Every chick that I have ever dated or stuck my dick in that has voted left has been on a plethora of meds. I'm like, I can't fuck with you. You know, I've got to take this pill for this, and I've got to take this pill for that, and I've got to take this pill for this. But you are 31 years old. There is nothing wrong with you. I can't deal with these people, man. You know, if I'm talking to you and we're bantering back and forth and you start telling me about the milligrams of promethazine and other shit that you're on or Zoloft or nah, bro, I'm out. I got to take Adderall for my ADHD. Click. Nah, we
I
not
don't
doing
like
that,
taking
man.
anything. I'm hard on myself just taking vitamins, let alone anything else. I mean,
Ricky Whitney has to
I'm trying to
force
take
me
more
to take a
vitamins.
fucking Tylenol. You know, like, here, you
Yeah,
should
I'm the
take
way the same
this.
way. I'm the same
Now, I
way.
will tell you,
I,
there is a
I
pill I'll
popped my
take
knee.
religious.
I popped my knee Friday. I haven't. I think I popped my LCL Friday, and now I'm still. I didn't take no pain medicine today. Like I'm just
The only
pushing
pill
through
that
it.
I will take regularly is Zyrtec.
Allergies. Nothing
Allergies,
to the
bro.
south.
Well, I live in Memphis, man. You know, two things will get you in Memphis: pollen and murder. Okay, like,
Absolutely.
And then the other social media campaign that I wish I'd have brought up to Mike, right, and I meant to tell him, our mayor right now made a fucking Twitter post saying, "Hey, we should avoid talking about the crime. It just puts a black eye on our city. Let's talk about all the good things." Well, we can't, because every day there's another body, another stolen car, another random shooting, another child that's been murdered.
But hell, the governor of Chicago, Illinois, said they need to video everything. They need to record everything going on. Like, really? Is that
Did you
really going to
see
help?
that he blamed the red states next door to him for their gun problem?
I seen that.
Bro,
How do you blame Mississippi? Like, how in the hell is Mississippi? But if you turn around, I have it saved. There's an ATF listing that most of the guns, legally guns, are in Illinois, are bought in Illinois. You can buy guns in Illinois. It's one of them things. It's just they're pulling shit out of their ass just to say it. Like, well, it's Mississippi fault.
well, I will tell you that
Is
there
it
was
Mississippi fault that you're incompetent and you've let this city turn into a cesspool of just violence, which it's been a rough city forever. It's got its neighborhoods they stay to themselves. If you go up there, and segregation is real in Chicago. If you want to see real segregation, go to Chicago, and that Chicago will show you real segregation, because every neighborhood is different. Hell, the Cubans and the Puerto Ricans don't even live in the same damn neighborhood. It's
right.
segregated to shit.
Yeah, but the gun thing, I will tell you, they did bust some people a couple years ago. There is a gun pipeline from Tennessee into Illinois. Okay, I can't remember. There were a couple pawn shops that got knocked off last year, and basically there are gangs in Memphis that have ties with gangs in Chicago and St. Louis. And what they were doing is they're hitting these places. They get a haul of weapons and then they immediately transport them to Illinois because they know they can go fucking sell the shit out of them because they don't have a body attached to them yet. You know, you get a gun that doesn't have a murderer already on it, somebody's gonna give you $1,500, $2,000 for it. Now if you want a handgun that's got a couple bodies on it, you can probably buy it for $100. You know what I mean? Um,
$50 throwaway.
I gotta throw away. I do. I do own a High Point. I bought it when I was 21 years old. I'm not proud of it, but it was $99, and I felt like I needed a gun at the time. I also had an AK, an
Is it at least a
SKS.
1911 version?
No, dude,
It's not a 1911. Hey, you can't put it on the video.
no, we'll get kicked bad then. This thing is so fucking heavy, bro. Like, what I need to do is I need to smelt the barrel down so that it can't even be chambered, and then just use it as a doorstop. Like, spray painted orange so everybody knows it's not a real gun, and then just use it as a doorstop. It's that fucking heavy, bro. Like, I don't know how I ever fired this thing, and it was so loud. Oh my god, I'd never fired a 9mm that was so loud in my life.
They're not made very well.
It's a High Point. I got a $99 High Point. Let's see how much we can find one for these days.
Yeah, Raz, there were some riots just the other day. Hell, Labor Day weekend. They had.
This is the same gun, bro.
In Chicago.
$179. The same gun that I bought for $99 is now $179. Wow.
Inflation.
I can't believe they even sell this thing anymore. What, these guns?
This show is for entertainment purposes only. Remember?
Oh, we got to keep reminding people of that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's in the description, but we will make sure that Uncle YouTube reminds us. I don't care about Rumble. Rumble got me there.
Rumble
I'm not
got
worried about
you.
Rumble.
Oh, never mind. Like they got
Yeah.
you. They got your back.
Yeah, they got my back. Yeah, yeah.
YouTube would get you.
So if you don't see us on YouTube next week, make sure you pop on the Rumble, because we got a great 9/11 show coming. We had a fun one last year, and we're
Well, I'm
going
going
to
to
have
tell you,
another one.
since I've been following that WTC page, bro, um, the stuff that I have seen on there is truly disturbing. Like how people aren't demanding answers. Like where's the Million Man March in DC for that? Listen, I would support marching against Donald Trump for that. Let's all go to DC and show up with flags that say we want the truth about 9/11. There is no way in hell that aircraft brought those buildings down. I don't care what anybody says. I used to tiptoe
No,
around that conversation, and be like, well, I don't know. I did the Mike Gatto thing. I'm like, well, I don't know. There's, nah. Now I'm like,
he might be a politician again one day. People might actually see this. We might go viral, so he got to make sure he keeps. I don't blame him. He got to
I
make
don't
sure
blame
his,
him. I don't blame him.
I don't blame him. Bit.
I don't blame him.
him.
I've
Bit.
already ruined my life,
I-
so it doesn't matter
I
what
ain't
I
matter.
say. Like,
yeah. It is.
we are who we are, Ricky Pike.
That's it. Love or hate us, we're here.
Oh,
we are here.
I did love what he said about being authentic. Authentic. Be who you are. And he's right. People hate politicians these days. They've all got that Gavin Newsom smirk where they lie to your face and pat you on the back as they kick you in the ass out the door. I don't think that I don't think I'm ever going to be able to run for office, because I'm too authentic. Like if I don't like you, I'm going to go, you're a fucking moron and there's something wrong with your point of view.
You could run like Brewster's Millions and do none of the above and see if you can get none of the above.
I'm here to get absolutely none of the vote.
Yep.
I'm just going to be a prick every day and just tell it like it is. And then people will be like, man, you heard what this Jamie Grant said? Like, this motherfucker's spitting.
And you fuck around and win. You're like, oh, shit, I want to try to do this. Anything's possible.
But I got to start acting right, because I am trying to get a real job right now. And all I need is somebody to see this podcast one day and be like, that fucking guy said what? Oh, my God. We can't hire him now. Dude, so let me say, so I used to have a pretty in-depth YouTube page. Like my YouTube was filled with at one point I probably had 100 videos of me doing stand-up comedy, and most of them were 2-minute videos where I'm going through one full bit, and then a couple of them were my entire set, whether it's 20 minutes or 30 minutes, but most of them were just short segments. When I got my corporate job, the fucking week after I got my corporate gig, I did a show at South Street Comedy Club in Jackson, Tennessee. And the next week, I had to be on property for this dinner that we had with a bunch of high-end clientele for the casino. And I was an executive casino host, and I was also a corporate trainer, for those that don't know my background. So we have this players dinner. We've got 20 of our high-end people in there, actually 10 couples, 20 people sitting at the table. And I'm sitting to the right of my general manager's mom. And there's a couple sitting across from me, and then Troy and his wife are right here on the end. And this lady across from me keeps looking at me, and she keeps whispering at her husband, and he keeps whispering back at her. And finally he goes, hey, aren't you the guy that was at South Street Comedy Club last weekend? Dude, I turned like white as a ghost. And then this woman proceeds to repeat a joke that I said on stage verbatim and made my GM's wife, I mean, mother and wife, blush. And I'm like, holy shit, I'm going to be fired. Bro, I went and scrubbed my entire fucking YouTube account. I deleted everything off my YouTube account. 15 years of stand-up comedy got scrubbed from my YouTube account because I got that corporate job. And then
You could have hit it. You could have put it on the private.
well, dude, I was
You're pretty
stupid
now, I
back
understand.
then. I was
Yeah, I
stupid
understand.
and just deleted it. You know what I mean? Because I was in fucking panic mode. But I look back now and I'm like, I will never delete anything again. I will own what I say. I truly believe I don't have any ill intentions behind the retarded shit that I say. When I use the R word or when I use the F word, I'm not singling anybody out. I'm not attacking anyone because of whatever their thing is. I just like the word. My black friends really like to say the N word. I really like to say the R word and the F word. And when we get on the Call of Duty game together, it's like harmony. They call me ninjas. I call them F words. And
Dawn made a comment. She said you should have said that was your brother. It wasn't you. That was your twin.
bro, let me tell you, there's only one Jamie Grant, and that dude is hard to deal with.
Yeah,
there's only one of me.
Whitney is a saint and an angel for sure.
Bro, do you know the
We're gonna
challenge
put
that
her on
she
up for
took on?
sainthood right now while she's still here live. We're gonna get her sainthood going now.
Can you hear him? She said she loves you, Ricky. She's got a lot to babysit here, bro. She's got a lot to babysit. Here we are. I'm trying to run an attitude MMA company. I'm trying to help run her, home health care service company, trying to run Jamie Grant as a professional. And she's always like, Jamie, you can't do that. Jamie, you can't do that. And then what do? I go and fucking do it anyway. And I'm just me, bro. I'm just me.
That's it. That's all you can be, man. That's all you can be.
Oh my. Could have said it on private. Yeah, I know, man. Hindsight's everything. I deleted it all, man. I started doing stand-up
I said a bunch
comedy.
of stuff on private on mine. On my other channel, I put a bunch of stuff on private because I had a bunch of stuff, just random stuff here and there. And when I was trying to, I got another channel, but I haven't really messed with it.
Right.
I thought about doing stuff with the land, and that'd be cool to post some videos and stuff like that. But I'll get back to it.
Oh yeah, man. Heck yeah.
Or later on. I don't say next year. I'll get back to it soon. But
well, my goal, man. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, just be cool. I know it'd be cool when people would like to see that kind of stuff. So I was like, wow, I'll do that too. And
set your GoPro up on your bulldozer, man, and just go to work.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it. I got a job I'm trying to get. If I get it, I'm gonna sure take my GoPro. That's another reason I got my other camera. Because I'm like, man, that way I have my GoPro with me when I can do crazy. When I climb fucking mountains or doing stupid shit that I don't need to be doing. So I can. I have it with me instead of having it sitting here on the computer, and it gets hot and really don't like being a webcam. They really don't. They're not. They weren't.
Yeah, they're not quite made for that.
And
I wonder if that's what's wrong with mine. Mine would not even.
You take your battery out.
Man, I took it out. I put it back in. I took it out. I put it back in again. It would not even.
No battery. I had to leave my battery off. I had to leave the battery off and then plug it in because I got. Where's it at? It's right down here. Yeah, maybe under all my candy wrappers. I don't know. But where I about burn a battery up. Oh, there it is. I pulled the battery apart and it got swelled twice the size. It barely come out of my GoPro.
Oh, no kidding, really?
I ripped the bottom of the battery cover off
Oh
and
my
then
God.
just trying to get it out. Like, yeah, it'll if it sits in that GoPro for a while and it gets hot, it'll get so hot it'll pull out. It'll expand in there. Fucking possibly, I guess it could possibly explode if you keep on keeping on with it. But yeah, I'll send you a link to this one here. It's not bad. It's a lot. I mean, hell's a lot cheaper than a GoPro too. This one here,
Right.
and it's actually got a gimbal. I could actually turn it
Okay.
on, and when I move, it'll move with me and stuff. And then you got hand signals and stuff. I can move around and make it do stuff. I turned that off because I talk with my hands and everything. But
I'm starting to wonder maybe if this cable's bad.
I think that's what happened to my mic is the cable, because it's what's happened before. The cable mess up and then it messes up. I got another cable for it, but I can't.
Well, I thought it was my USB for a minute. You know, I just sent this computer off, man, to have this USB fixed. And
yeah, the cable will do it on the mic, and the cable will do it on the. I know for the camera too. I've had it happen a few times. Things you learn in the last year of all this chaos and everything, but
right. Yeah, bro, this camera's done, man. That's sad, dude. I paid almost $500 for this thing when it first came out. Oh, well, looks like I ruined another toy. Dude, I broke my drone, broke my GoPro, broke my other GoPro. Now we're on my third GoPro that's now broke. Like, what the hell, man? I just can't have nice things. Like, it was on for a minute. Like, the red light came on, and then I tried to turn it on. Game over. I'll try this one more time. Nope. We're done. It's dead.
I seen a thing. I know you gonna have to leave in just a little while.
Oh, come on, run it. What you got?
I got a bunch of stuff on here, but here's the DIM project for 2029. They want actually make DC and Puerto Rico a state.
Puerto Rico don't even want to be part of the U.S. anymore, from what they're saying, but
that's what
they're saying. But the vote was they want to.
But according they fact checked it on Twitter on the one that I saved, and it said in 2024 general elections, the least voted option at 11% was that. So I don't know. Right. It's probably a bunch of, they get about 20 people standing together and like, yeah, that's what we want, but really ain't. But they said they want to patch the Supreme Court and add some more, and yeah, it's some crazy stuff. But here's Mr. Rogan talking about those SS. I feel weird we haven't shown a video or nothing the whole time we've been here. It's like, man, what the hell? That's what it was Friday. We just talked Friday. That's pretty cool.
The problem is some people get to a certain point in their life and they have no friends and no community and no identity and no life, and they're not successful and they feel like shit, and then they have gender dysphoria on top of that, and then they're probably on a bunch of SSRIs, which RFK Jr. is going to apparently do some sort of a large scale research into the connection between mass shootings and psychiatric drugs, because it is real and everyone knows it, and it's just this dirty secret that no one talks about because all the media is paid off by the pharmaceutical drug companies, and nobody wants to make this correlation connection because you also risk the wrath of all these people that are on them saying, I'm on them and I'm not doing anything. It's not the pills. I need these to function. Maybe you do. I don't know. I don't know how your brain works. But the reality is, most of these people that have committed mass murder are on psychiatric medication. The problem is some people get to a certain point in their
body. I don't want to try to pick that. And here's the somebody had posted that in here in this lead. Maybe it's in the comments. I seen the damn thing when I saved this damn video. But it was, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, that's what we were just talking about was that just some highly medicated and some people, and there is a percentage of people that do because there's, um, some people need medication to work their brain because their mama drank like a fish while they were inside their womb,
Bro, I
and
think
some
it's
of
an
them
excuse.
because I think some of them, because of and the other thing, the aspect of it is what the food and stuff we put in our systems are causing lots of it, lots of the dyes and everything that's causing a mental imbalance, and then you throw a bunch of drugs on top of it because of the foods. If we just took the foods out and took the dyes out of the foods, and then we won't have as much mental balance, Um, yeah, LJ said people are crazy road rage these days. It's because it's just a mentally imbalanced society we have. Everybody's on edge. Everybody wants to think they can do what the hell they want to do, and there's no consequences. They can say what they want to on social media. They can talk to shit to people. They can hit people. They can assault people. They can do whatever they want to do, and they're like, well, wait a minute, what did I do? I'm sorry. Why am I getting arrested? I seen a video the other day. Somebody was like, it was instant karma. Like as soon as they came up and they were attacking somebody in a car, but the police were right behind them. Like it wasn't. Well, there was like a car over in another lane. But that's how close the cops were. They were over there attacking this person. They parked over there and shoved them against the car and arrested them. It's like, fucking, for what? Somebody was too slow off a stop sign, or somebody might have not seen you and cut you off. Like,
Right.
is it that serious? Is that worth dying?
Bro, people lose their freaking minds over the littlest things these days, and it's sad, like
Mm-hmm.
the lack of emotional intelligence that people have, and everything offends them and just sets them over the edge, man, like it's rampant in these kids. I mean, it's rampant in these kids, and they think that there's zero recourse for their actions, which is even crazier. Jam them all up, man. Screw all these kids. I'm tired of all of them.
I have a funny story on that, like talking about road rage and stuff. I had a friend of mine who we called him Tiny, but Tiny, of course, you call somebody Tiny, they're not, of course, they're not tiny. But he was 6'9", 6'11", something like that. Big old dude, bald headed, except for this one little ponytail in the back of his head, little tight, coolest dudes you ever meet though. But I remember somebody, I guess a rock came off his tailgate and hit somebody's windshield. So these people pulled around and cut him off and slammed on the brakes. He said he stood on them brakes and barely got it stopped enough.
Right.
Big trucks don't stop on a dime. So if you pull out in front of that son of a bitch, he's probably going to drive through you. I mean, especially if he ain't paying attention. But this guy jumped out of his car and started cussing him out. And he opened up the door and stepped down and hit the ground. When he foot hit the ground, the guy looked up and ran. We said how big that son of a bitch was. And
well, yeah.
He said, and he turned around and looked at me. He's like, well, there ain't no point getting killed over something your insurance will cover. And he's right. There's no point like getting so fucking angry. You see the people at the fast food places, people gonna start dropping dead of strokes because they're so fucking angry over petty shit. Like, hey, people fuck up. You You can be calm and talk to people when you can get shit done. You know, if you turn around and act a fucking crazy, you're probably, you know, especially in certain places, you're gonna get your ass whooped and go to jail over a fucking chicken sandwich, you know.
But that
Or
chicken sandwich,
Popeyes.
bro.
Popeyes. Hell yeah. Waffle House. Get a chair side of the head. Hell.
Bro, Waffle House is the place to be, apparently, for the best fights in town. You know, if everybody wants to go to an MMA fight to see women fight, nah, bro. Nah. Go to Waffle House. That is the best place to see women throw down. Guaranteed.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy.
I love it personally.
I did.
You know, I love watching stupid, poor people fight. Okay. And I'm poor too, don't get me wrong, but when I say poor, I'm broke. There's a difference. You know, to watch stupid people fight, bro, I love it. Show me your ignorance on a whole new level, you know? All right. Well, I just ordered another camera, so screw it. I'm done playing with it.
Oh man.
Well, I needed another
Also,
GoPro anyway. But send me yours for the.
Okay. Yeah,
Does yours mount to the top of your monitor?
It can. It's got a screw mount. It's a OBS bot, tiny. It's got a gimbal on it. It's got a little mount.
You said what's it called? An OBS?
Yeah. It's
there it is.
I got it. OBS bot, tiny 4K camera. It's got this one here.
Oh, I see it.
It's got a gimbal on it. Yeah, it's got a gimbal on it. You see, it's got a mic on it. It's pretty neat. You can hit a little button on it. It's got its own program. Like you can adjust stuff on the fly. Like I can hit a button. You know, I'm like, all right, go to sleep. Tell it to go to sleep. It'll turn down and turn off and just go. And it'll adjust around. You can move it around.
Do you have it on a tripod?
I just got it on top of the screen right now. It comes with a little magnetic mount where you can hook it to the top of the screen. Or I had it on a tripod, but I wanted it higher. I'm just playing with it where I put it because I just want to make sure I get the full view of my mask. So
yeah, I'm gonna drop.
I gotta have the full view of my stuff here. I've spent so much time and effort and money on my mask. I gotta make sure I get the whole view of my whole thing. But
yeah, I just dropped you a link in the chat. Tell me if that's it. That's the one you're rocking.
Yeah.
4K webcam, 60 frames per second. Oh, a built-in microphone too. There we go.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. Thanks, Ricky.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you're handy every now and then.
I used to be IT.
Really?
Not technically, but I was. I used to get phone calls every fucking day over IT shit. But yeah, that's and it's not it's not a bad price. You're not gonna buy a GoPro for it, and with it having gimbal and 4K, and as you see, it makes a good video and picture.
Is it Bluetooth connect or is it connect with a wire?
Wire.
Okay.
Cool. Actually, two. It's got two wires. I got both of them hooked up. I think you only have to have one, but I got both of them just for shits and giggles.
Okay.
I didn't want take no chance.
Well, I just ordered it too. There we go.
Cool. Yeah, you'll like it. You'll like it. It's pretty cool. Like I said, it's got a little software app you can download and put on your computer, and you can adjust everything as you go. We're so ADD. We're just all over the place. Here, there you go, Jamie. I'll show it to you. You can do AI tracking here. I can tap the lock, or I can make it do different things.
Oh, so it'll follow you in your room. Okay. Can you zoom with it?
Yeah, I get it zoomed all the way out right now.
Okay.
And I can zoom.
Oh, that is freaking wicked, bro.
I can move it on my own. I want to. I can do that. I can do. I can just hit medium. I got presets. or
I'm
I can
sure
go through
China's
LinkedIn.
watching you right now. China.
What's up, China? Fuck you. I can change it to fine, or I can change it like where it coarse, or it's like moves real big and wide. You can change autofocus, exposure. You can tell it to go global where it's a wide, or you can go make it for your face.
Well, it'll be here
Um,
tomorrow. I look forward to that.
yeah, it's fun. It's a fun one. You'll like it. Like I said, I hadn't
Nice.
had no troubles out of it.
How long
So
have you been using it?
I got it last week. I think for last week's show, I got it for
All right. Yeah, my
week before
GoPro got
last. I
hot
don't know.
a couple weeks ago, man, and like it was like burn your hand to the touch hot, you know. And I think maybe it fried it, you know. So, but I got to have another GoPro, man. I take those on my trips when I go out of town, and
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I want to do. Kara said she wanted to do camera. It's, it's not bad for what it is. Like there's like that brand has it all the way up. Like you can get like $500 one. You can get all kinds of different ones. And then there's lower ones. But for the price and what it is for $160,
right.
And you can get a gimbal that can move around. You can, especially if you're doing something like if you set up where you could move around and really follow you and stuff, it's, that's pretty cool that we can do it. So.
Oh heck yeah, this one's $540, bro.
Yeah, you can get. I did research for like 3 weeks on it. Like, so, okay, which one here, which one, like price points, and like for price point to everything. That one there is probably to me is. Let's see. I don't need that mouse. Wrong mouse. I got you, Karen. I'll drop the link.
Wow, some of these jokers are huge too. Like the one you have is little. This big blue looking thing, like it's 3 times the size of that.
Oh yeah. It's ridiculous. Yeah. Like I said, you can get in there and you start going on Amazon and start looking. It's a major brand and they've got a lot of stuff and they've been doing really good. Like they got a lot of stuff. So, but, for podcasting, and I've seen a lot of people. I watched a lot of reviews on YouTube of people talking about it. It was like one of the top, 3 budget cameras. Like if you went above that, like the next level, you got to buy a fucking $1,500 camera to get better,
Right.
than this. And I'm not on that $1,500 camera level yet. I'm not there.
No, me either, bro. I'm on a budget.
Yeah. I'm not there yet. Maybe one day we can get this channel up there, and we keep slowly growing, and never know. Anything is possible, but
It is crazy though. We keep chipping away, man. A new viewer every week.
If you watch the thing, it's just steadily. It's not fast, but it's just steadily going up, and it's fun. And I think we've added several today. I know for one, for sure. There you go. Yeah, ask Santa Claus, Karen, see if you can get one for Christmas. That'd be good. That'd be a good thing. It's almost that time again. Holy shit!
God, the year has flown by, bro.
It has. It really has.
Yeah. So the big talk today from the local politicians up here in Memphis, the talk of the National Guard coming to Memphis, they're saying nothing's off the table, nothing's off the table, nothing's off the table. Dude, they're coming. I 100% believe that they're coming to Memphis. I think that we need them.
They're going across the board. I think they're going to the major. I think if you look up the most violent cities in the United States, the top 10, and you're going to see them all there. St. Louis, New Orleans, Memphis, Chicago, Detroit,
Baltimore.
New York, Baltimore. If they're in the top 10 and been in the top 10, they got some friends on the way.
Right.
They got some friends coming. Well, what's going to be? James, no touch was talking to after Halloween. Yeah, ball humbug for me, James. I'm with you. But yeah, it's it's coming, you know. And if this is going to be really going to be the right thing, I don't know. I mean, I think it's going to help the crime, but but will they take advantage of a situation? Well, we already got National Guard there. So let's go ahead and let's
Bro,
lock
let
some
it
shit
happen.
down.
Let it happen. Let it happen. Memphis needs it to happen, bro. You know,
Something's got to
I
give in
can't.
Memphis because it's sad. The population, the number of people in Memphis per crime is ridiculous. You know, cities
But
three
again, if
times
you,
bigger, 10 times bigger. This shit, it's got less crime. You know, per 100,000. It's ridiculous.
yeah, we live in a big lie here. You know, and then to see the mayor and to see the police chief and to see our DA constantly get on TV. But it's crazy because it was like a coordinated effort across all these Democrat-led cities all at the same time, that all of them started reporting, well, crime is actually down. If you look at the metrics and you look at the data, crime is actually down. All of them started doing it, you know, and I think it's all just another big psyop, you know, where it's a coordinated movement of these people where they got the memo and they're like, all right, hey, here's your talking point, just like the media gets their talking point. And what's crazy about the local media in Memphis, in the same breath, they'll tell you crime is down, but Memphis is in the top 10 most dangerous cities. In the same fucking news cycle, they'll tell you that. Well, how is crime down if we're in the top 10 most violent cities in America?
We stay at number one. It's like, what? How's it? How are we still number one? If it went down, you think we would go down numbers? You know, maybe we could be number three again or number four or something. But it's all crock of shit across the board. Like like Mike, I appreciate his honesty and you know, Mike Gatto said it. You know, it's those numbers are absolutely bullshit.
Right. Yeah, man, I got a lot of respect for the guy. I was wondering how that was going to go.
Me too.
Yeah, I bought his bullshit if that's if that's what he was slinging. Nah, and I mean that respectfully. Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation. You know, I was hoping to hear that there was some movement on his father's case. You know, I read about that the other day and I was like, damn, I'm like, this dude's been directly impacted by this. And how sad is it that your dad gets killed in a home invasion, you know? And I wonder, did it have something to do with, you know, while he was, because we hear about these people, man, you know, I mean, the running theory is that Jordan's dad was murdered because of something Jordan did, you know. Was Mr. Gatto a victim of that kind of retribution, but man,
Pushing
I
out.
hope I hope they find that dude's murderer. You know, I don't care how long it takes. I hope that the guy finds some justice, man. And because I'm gonna tell you, bro, if somebody knocked off my dad, I'd be full John Wick until I found him. You know, I'd call it.
John
I'd
Wick,
call
Frank
in,
Castle.
bro. I would call in every favor of everybody that I've got. And it's funny. I was telling Whitney, like, my friend list consists of, especially on my social media feed, like, I got friends that are Memphis police officers. I got some spooks on my page that are that work in some various organizations in the government. I got politicians on my page, and I got a couple drug dealers on my page, and believe it or not, I actually know someone who works in the forensic office for the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Um, yeah, I would call in every fucking favor I have, you know.
Yeah, I
And
wouldn't
then I
blame
would
you.
personally show up at someone's house once they've been ID'd through various methods and be like, hi, I'm going to jail today and I'm cool with it. You know, maybe I'd find a jury that would give me some leniency and be like, for that 30 seconds, he was out of his mind, even though he went through various methods to find this person. I'd claim insanity. And then I would claim I'm a female. Hi, I'm switching genders now. You're going to put me in the women's population. I'm going to get a girlfriend or 5. Don't judge me, Ricky Pike. You would do the same thing. You would, if they're going to play, I'm just playing by the rules that they put out there, okay? Give me a blonde wig and call me Shirley.
They ain't locking me up. As soon as it looked like it was going, I'm going back to the old West times. You watch all them old westerns? I'm heading south. I would fight with them drug dealers and shit, in a cartel down across that border before I go to prison. I'm too little guy. Fuck that. I'm going across that border. I'm old Frank Castle. Is somebody done that to like my dad or something like that? I'm gonna Frank Castle that motherfucker, and I'm gonna cross that border.
Right.
Adios. I'm gonna learn Spanish very well, and go live my best life.
Oh.
And poof, they ain't getting me. Bye, motherfuckers.
Never been to jail except when I went with my cop friends to pick up their paycheck. Well, little boy Johnny, aren't you just the shining light? I once was arrested 4 times in 3 days. Now, I'm sure you're wondering how one does that. It takes a lot of skill and effort to get arrested 4 times in 3 days. When I was recently filling out my application for the Memphis Police Department and I had to list everything that I've been arrested for, I did put that little notation in there that I did go to jail 4 times in 3 days. I can't wait to have my interview. It's going to be so fun. Have you used drugs? Why, yes, I have. That's what you do when you work at a strip club. Have you been arrested? Charged with a felony? Why, yes, I have. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation came and kicked in my mama's front door in Mississippi. But it's beautiful, man. Like, I've got a relationship with the former mayor. I'm not the former mayor. So I have a relationship with the very first police officer that ever arrested me as a juvenile. And he's the former mayor of Horn Lake as well. And he just ran for office again and got beat by whatever this guy's name is down there. And I have a mayor with the former chief of police with South Haven, and I ran into him about 15 years ago, and I was at a city council meeting addressing some issues in my neighborhood, and I come out of the meeting, and Chief Long's standing there, and he goes, "Jamie Grant." He goes, "Boy, I didn't think you'd ever grow up." And I'm like, "Oh shit, Chief Long." I'm like, "How you been, man?" He's like, "Pretty good." I'm like, "Man, I'd be curious to see the file you got on me." And he goes, "It's this thick, son. It's this thick." I was a heathen in my 20s, man. But what else do you do when you work in a strip club? You become a heathen. Well, Theodore Kent's going to sleep. We'll see you later. Good night, homie. We appreciate you for joining us.
Appreciate you, Theo. Yeah, for sure. Appreciate y'all.
Jamie needs a book. Bro, listen, you have no idea we've been talking about this. I'm actually off starting November 15 through April 1, and I think that this winter I will actually complete that, and I'll make sure you get a copy of it. We've already got the title. It's called Pimpin' Ain't Easy, because it's not. It's hard as a motherfucker. It takes a lot of work, a lot of hours.
You got a theme song to go with it already. I'm not here for him.
When you're trying to get that money for the rent. I don't know. I don't know. My theme song will be a lot different, man. Like I'm gonna rap my own theme song. I'm gonna write it.
I get you on that Suno. We'll get you a song. You figure out the words. We can put you can type the lyrics in, and they can sing it for you.
I got some pimp ass lyrics too. Like, I write this stuff all the time. I went from slinging weed and LSD to cocaine and guns, and man, bro, like, it's just, God, my 20s were reckless, man. And I should have went to jail for a lot more than I did. Some of that shit I deserved. you know. But I'm glad that it made me grow up and that it turned me into the wonderful human being that I am today. I don't know, man. I love being able to tell my story and in the hopes that maybe it changes one other person's life. Let me tell you about all the bad shit I had to go through to finally grow up, and maybe, just maybe, you won't go down that road. There's
Absolutely.
nothing good in the strip club.
Absolutely.
There is nothing good that comes out of the strip club industry. Dollar bills and drugs. That's the extent of it. Naked ladies, bro. It was real cool. Listen, like, and for people that don't know, I started working at a strip club shortly after my 19th birthday, and for the first couple months that I was in the strip club, my friends would be like, "Oh man, you work in a strip club. You get to see naked women all the time." And I was like, "Yeah, yeah," for like the first couple months. That 3-month mark hit, and you're dealing with psychopaths that take their clothes off on stage that all have drug problems, and it was not fun anymore. Now this is a task. This is some shit I got to go deal with every night. People are like, "Man, you work in a strip club, you get to see naked ladies all the time," and I'm like, "Bruh, fuck them bitches." Like, so I started dating one. Worst thing you can ever do. There's no champagne in the champagne room. Chris Rock told you it's real. It ain't there. Oh, Ricky Pike, I love you, brother. I appreciate doing this every Wednesday. This is my testimony, and this people
It's
are like,
good.
"Jamie, do you do therapy?" I'm like, "No, man. I just go on Ricky Pike's podcast every Wednesday night and just dish all my
and,
dilemma there."
and we must be reaching out to and people find us because of you know politicians, former politicians in California is listening to our podcast and listen to how we are. And,
That's
that's
pretty cool, man.
pretty.
That's pretty exciting.
That's I was like, man, this got to be bullshit. I really thought I was like, when I first seen it, I was like, man, this is a scam. And then he sent me a second email, and I'm like, maybe this is real. And then I'm like, I reached out to him, and they're like, yeah, yeah. And then when he popped up, I'm like, holy shit, this is fucking real. It really is
Nice.
real.
Well, I got to tell you, he's obviously making a move to go do something. So he's trying to put his name and voice back out there again. And I applaud the guy for coming on our small town podcast and jumping on there and being as transparent as he could, even though he did avoid my September 11th question. I'm not mad at you, Mr. Gatto. I appreciate your
Everything else, he was pretty open though. I
man. He
give
was,
that.
he was, he
Everything,
really was. When he called out the statistics in California as bullshit, I was like, I
yeah,
like him. I like him.
yeah.
I like him. I like him.
Much love.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just wish the politicians in Memphis would do the same. I saw one of our, and this is a, man, I don't even know if I want to bring this up. In fact, I can't because I have a job on the line for this. But we'll talk off the line about a politician posting a stat that is completely untrue about our education system and about how great the Memphis education system is. And uh, I'm like, our kids can't read, bro. They can't
It's
do
been like that
math.
for a long time.
Right. You know what I mean?
Like the '80s, they had Keith Lee. You remember Keith Lee?
I don't.
He was Memphis State before, of course, they went University of Memphis. But he was a Memphis State
You hear that, Whitney?
Tiger basketball. Is somebody shooting out there?
No, they're doing donuts.
Oh, nice. That's even better. He was the Memphis State Tigers, and he was a great basketball player. And when he got done for his 4 years of college, he couldn't read. He had somebody did
Wow.
all his shit through high school and through college. People did his work for him, and they allowed it to happen before he could play basketball.
Well, we had Memphis got caught up in that scandal with Jalen Rose, where No, not Jalen. I'm sorry, Derek Rose.
Derek.
Yeah, where he had somebody else taking his tests for him, turning in all of his work. You know what? How is that feasible? You know what I mean? How does one get by with that? You know, it's
Mhm.
and how does somebody not know that? Oh my God! Wait a minute. You're telling me that Memphis has a problem? Possibly that these kids can't read, they can't write. But let me tell you, they know every motherfucking rap song, lyric for lyric for lyric. You know, maybe we need to put the periodic table into a rap song. Whitney's eyes just lit up. Maybe I need to write a rap song about uranium and
Just
plutonium and
I put it in
oxygen.
the chat. Just click on that, and I guarantee they'll make you one for you.
No, I saw the link right here. Yeah, Suno.com.
Yeah, click on that, and I guarantee you put in that whatever you want, and it'll make you. That's where I'll make the 2 songs in the intro.
Dude, I love the intro.
Yeah, the 2 songs, and then I did the new one. I used that to do my new one for the lunch break, conspiracy lunch, which was fun.
Well,
it was fun.
Good job, Ricky Pike. You're doing things, brother. Thanks for dragging me along and letting me carry your coattail. Or ride your coattail and carry your luggage. That's what I meant to say. Damn it.
We're here together, and I'm just having a good conversation, and a great chat to go along with it. And the people in the chat are bringing more people, and they're bringing friends along because they're enjoying it. So it's what's making us grow, and us just being real.
I knew my winning personality would pay off one of these days, Ricky.
One day. It got you, Whitney. What more could you ask for?
Man, I mean, she showed up and, hadn't gone away yet. I can't get rid of her yet. She's okay. She's all right.
Yeah, the key word yet.
She'll get tired of my shit one of these days. She'll be like, all right, bro, listen, we got to talk about something. But so far, listen, I mean, the only arguments we have are on Call of Duty. So, like, let me steal her satchel. I do it now just to piss her off. Like, I steal her shit all the time. She'll open a box, some good shit will pop out, and I'll be like, mine! And she's like, you motherfucker!
That's good.
I knew I was in trouble the first time she called me a FAB. And I'll let you work out the acronym on what that F word is. Ass bitch. Man, I can't believe she called me that one day. I was like, oh my God, that slipped right out.
She laughed so hard here.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, I about died laughing. I was like, oh my God, she just called me a faggot ass bitch. Like, what?
Damn. Don't worry, LJ. I got some animal videos and stuff ready for that. I got a bunch of stuff sitting there waiting, so we'll sure get to it. I'm not going nowhere. For the ones that are lurking, don't go nowhere.
Don't go nowhere. Ricky's staying around, but I'm going to bounce, man. Ricky, I love you. We will see you soon, brother. Thank you for having me on. Mr. Gatto, if for some odd reason you come back and find this podcast and actually go through and watch the whole thing, thank you for hanging out with us. We really appreciate you. Very insightful, and I wish you all the success in life, sir. And I hope they find the person responsible for your father's murder, man, and bring him to Memphis. I want to introduce him to some people. See you soon, brother. Catch up.
All right, brother. Be good. Yeah. I'm glad y'all are here. Like I said, I still got lots of stuff and lots of few videos. I'll get to some animal ones for sure. I got to do that. I'm gonna see. I hate my microphone. It's weird having to have a microphone for me. I've been doing it so. But check out this damn get out of here, this thing. Check out this train. If it was over here, it'd come off the tracks and kill somebody, but
さあ、富士が近づいてきた。今見えた。一瞬見えてきた。
And that wasn't sped up. That was 310 miles an hour that sun gun went by on that. I don't know if I want to be in the damn thing. I guess if it's something happened, hell is, you know. Night, Karen. I appreciate you come and join the chat. I just seen that. Much love to y'all. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all coming and listening, and listeners ramble back and forth and talk, and y'all always can be very insightful in the chat. But yeah, that thing, yeah, it's crazy. I'll do it one more time just because it's.
そう、富士山が近づいてきた。今
That
見えた。
sound it makes.
一瞬見えてきた。
That look on their face is wow. That's freaking crazy. I just saved this. Some remote. If you want to stop and remote back later. Remote jobs. A stretchable micro LED display. You can actually make stuff into 3D. It's crazy. Who needs a multitasking household robot that does everything from vacuuming, air purification, monitoring pets, and even deliver your food while you sit on the couch? Let me blow it up big. It'd be kind of cool to have if you have, especially a big house, and turn around and like, here you go. Get me a drink. Sonic the Hedgehog train. My parents got a bunch of deer in the backyard. They feed them. Yeah, if anybody ever found out, they better not go in my parents' backyard and try to get mom's deer, because she'll pew pew. She'll pew pew them. She loves them deer. She feeds them corn and stuff. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna show this to Jamie. I'll just send this to Jamie. But she's actually. Like you're playing the game in the live of the game. Got a rollable
Laptop works in two simple modes. 14-inch mode, which feels like your classic compact laptop for everyday use. Then, when you need more room, it unrolls into a 16.7-inch vertical screen. Great for getting stuff done or just having extra space to work with. In 14-inch mode, the resolution is 2000 by 1600, clear and sharp for most tasks. But when you expand it, that jumps to 2000 by 2050, giving it even more vertical space to play with. Whether you're coding, working on a project, or just scrolling through vertical content, this rollable screen feels like it's made to adapt to whatever you're doing. It's a pretty bold move from Lenovo. They've always been about pushing boundaries, but a laptop with a rollable screen? That's a whole new level. It's compact, clever, and honestly, just really cool to see in action. This is
Lenovo. Cool to have if you're doing work. Your mouse will with a wristband. Oh, what was the one that? Check out
that I've seen a lot via video, but never met in person. It's a little shorter than some of the other humanoid robots out there, but I think that's what makes it special. It's got a depth camera and LiDAR so that it can see the world. It's got a microphone so that someday you'll be able to have like conversations with it. They're working on a chat GPT integration is what I hear. These hands are just for show, but there's different hand attachments you can get that do different things. You can kind of see how robust it is, you know, pushing it around a little bit. That's how they test robots. You know, they push them around. I didn't mean it. Okay, you're good. So as you can see, it's a robot party here at CES. Thanks to the Unitree homies for showing me your moves. See you next time. Very special day today, getting a hand.
We got all these robots coming. I don't know. Now this one here has got me because they're, of course, Jeff Bezos over here making this, and then they're about to come out with the wanting everybody to have one of these style.
Time is more than hours and minutes. It's a rhythm. A dance between chaos
and calm, peace
and power,
discipline
and decadence, sweat
and substance. All day, all night, all you.
Of course, they're going to come out with a brand new one right before they want everybody to have one, you know. I thought this was interesting.
I became when Obama.
Hold on, I'll probably have to delete this part of the video. Copyright's going to catch me on this, but
Obama became president, a lot of the original guys that were running those labels, they would bring in a New York guy to replace the Nashville guy. And then when the new guy comes in, he would start changing the culture of that label, which bled all the way down into the artists, and it bled all the way down into the publicity departments, and what kind of songs you were allowed to cut, what interviews you were allowed to do, who you were allowed to interview with.
Holy shit.
I started getting in trouble with the label because I was doing interviews with Sean Hannity. My record label went absolutely insane that I did that. You've got liberal artists that are out here saying all kinds of stuff that I don't like. You're not worried about them. They go, that's not the point. It was the point. Jason Aldean's a great example. The woke mob attacked his wife. And I remember him texting me going, what do you think I ought to do? I said, what would you do to anybody else that attacked your wife? If you come out swinging, you're selling 30,000 tickets today, you'll be selling 60,000 tickets this time next year because the Patriot crowd will come to your back. To his credit, man, he came out and just put his dukes up, and here he comes swinging, and he is doing stadium shows now. When Obama...
crazy manipulating stuff. I want to show this with Jamie here too. Ain't no way I'd have an Airbnb. I'd be so scared if something like this happened. They just thought it'd be cool to destroy these people's house. Which how ignorant are you? You're on camera. Everybody in there like, look, I'm on camera. You got video. You know, vandalism. Hell, they're all felons now. Crazy. And one fun one.
It's getting more and more obvious that they faked the moon landing. Elon Musk just came out and said that it would take 24 rockets of fuel to make it to the lunar surface. They would have to refuel 24 times. Well, obviously, they didn't do that back in 1969, did they?
Really interesting. And then I started trying to understand the architecture to get there. Okay. I did not understand until this week when I really thought I was going to embarrass myself in front of you guys and then decided to further embarrass myself in front of you guys. I didn't realize that in order to get the human lander to the moon, we have to launch a bunch of additional rockets to tank up in low Earth orbit. I didn't know that. And I'm like, well, how many rockets do we have to do that with? And they're like, 6. And then I start, because I know people, I start calling people. I was like, dude, really, how many rockets is it? They're like, well, boil off. And okay, so I was like, some people are like, well, it's looking like 8. I was like, 8 rockets? We have to fire 8 rockets to fire 1 rocket to the moon? And then they're like, I mean, that's what they're saying, but it's probably more like 12. Really? And then I was like, I'm an engineer. I know how to do this stuff. So I started to account for like nominal schedule slip and boil off. And this is how many rockets it's going to take to fuel up that thing to get it to the moon.
So you can pause there.
If you had any
So
questions.
he said he did the math. It's going to take up to 24 rockets taller than the Saturn V to go to the moon. You see that? This is why they destroyed all the schematics, the blueprints, and everything in the attempt to cover up the fact that it's technologically impossible to go to the moon with the Saturn V rocket, which he just proved. That you saw the Saturn V was smaller than Elon Musk's rocket, and it's going to take 24 rockets taller than the Saturn V to have enough fuel to go to the moon. Are we convinced yet that they fake going to the moon? Now, here's another.
Yeah, I'm not sure how they're supposed to even think about it. They're going to get to Mars if we don't have the technology to get to the moon. But how we're supposed to get to Mars? Which I mean, I think it's a one-way trip. But there's no doubt that they faked all the stuff that happened, the moon landing. Even if you believe they landed on the moon, the footage they showed us was bullshit. There's no doubt, because there's one footage when they took off that the camera was following the pod back up. Who's the cameraman that was sitting there on the moon that got left that died on the moon, or we didn't have the technology that we're controlling that thing from. In 69. I don't know. All BS. This cat's got his own toy. Yeah, they still can't get to the radiation belt. They're not going to. It's one of the things. It's not. It's like the nuclear test for when they're testing a bomb. They prove those videos. There's proven that those videos are fake. Not that they don't. I'm not one of the ones don't think they have bombs and they don't have but those footage is fake. What they were showing people was fake. Absolutely. You got a camera sitting here, but everything else gets blown to shit, but their camera gets to stay. Yeah, come on now. Yeah, UFOs are seen all over the place in space. Yeah. That's true, though. Radiation would have wrecked the film. It wasn't like the transmission back over here. It's, and what's the purpose of it all? That part I don't know. It's a kind of feel-good story. It's animals and feel good. the neighborhoods moving to automatic trash bins, so the kids no longer see the trash man. So they wanted to give them something.
I'm a lot late, but I'm so old, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. This is for you. This is for you. And this is for you. I didn't know they had these.
What do you say? What do you say?
Thank you for everything. Can I have a hug, please? Thank you. Have a good day, okay?
Baby girl, what do you say?
You're welcome.
You want to put it on?
That little hat, get little ears poking out. Okay, he's just harassing the other one. Ginger cats are mean.
Do you want to eat? Okay.
Oh, he's not happy.
Кошка, кошка. Ты у нас кто, кошка?
What the hell is that? I played a cat video the other day, and I had both my cats come running. For it. I had to put her to sleep because my girlfriend is allergic to cat hair.
Cắn nó miêu.
Now we've seen the video. I've shown the video of the subway train, but here's the whole town this guy has made for this
It's
cat.
taken me 3 months to complete my new cat town. We've worked hard to create a complete urban environment for the cats, so they can see the human world built on their scale. Hello everyone, I'm Xing. So many people enjoyed the cat subway video, it went viral in China and around the world. Despite showing the details of how it was built, a lot of comments still thought it was made by AI. In the future, I'll definitely show you more of the construction process so people can see that we are not faking it. In today's video, I'm going to show you the fast food restaurant I recreated just for you guys. The name in Chinese translates to Meow Donald's. Tutu and Mr. Nice are coming over for dinner soon. But before they arrive, let me show you around first. The decor is simple and there's seating for customers on both sides of the counter. Here's the owner, Rhonda McDonald. The kitchen is ready to go. Let's go down to the subway and pick up Mr. Nice. Welcome to Cat Town Station. Please allow cats to alight before boarding. Mr. Nice headed up to the restaurant, but noticed Tutu hadn't arrived yet. So he ordered a combo meal and grabbed a seat. Not to be outdone by Mr. Nice's Cybertruck, Tutu showed up on his flashy new sports bike. As soon as he arrived, they skipped the pleasantries and went straight to the burgers.
花4个月时间给猫咪小镇做的地铁站和地铁，今天终于通车了。一会儿不错将带领他的猫猫们成为首批乘客。大家好，我是邢志磊。自打我2年前做了猫房子起，就有很多朋友给我留言，希望我能给猫猫们再做个地铁。但是经过我几次认真考虑后，发现有2处难题一直没有想明白怎么解决。一个是地铁到站后，地铁门和站台门怎么同步打开，另外就是怎么做一台可以运转的踏步电梯。直到今年上半年，我决定不想了，先做，遇到困难再想办法。果然一个困难接一个困难，不过还好我的信心够坚定，在一次次失败后，最终耗时4个月，终于完工了。以前我们每做好一个新场景，到了打扫卫生环节总会集体头痛，因为是真头痛啊！但是这次给地铁站打扫卫生就轻松多了，因为我们有一台机器人。
They must have made it pretty solid because they sure beat it up.
刚才只是开个玩笑。好了，猫猫们的列车马上就要进站了，我们一起去迎接一下。
欢迎光临猫咪小镇站，请先下后上。
好了，这期视频就到这里，感谢大家的支持和喜欢，我们下期再见，拜拜。
Well, they like in the yard or what?
It's taken me 3 months to complete my new.
But that is pretty cool. Yeah, who cleans the ball? That's a good question, dog. Who cleans it? Oh, I gotta get volume on this one. And I showed this one last week.
We can put him in the truck. Look at him.
I got a chip. Here, I'll get down to your level. Come here. I got a chip. I know you're hungry. I know you're hungry. Come on. Come on, my little dear. Come on, dear. Look.
Oh my God, I want to take him.
No. 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 That's too funny. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things with the raccoons and stuff like that. Not anything else I wanted to show tonight. Looking. We skip a lot of the politics. We had fun. Did have, what was I did see, I the Space Force Command Headquarters is heading to Huntsville, Alabama, which, of course, it's we've always had NASA there at Huntsville, and they're about to spend a whole bunch of money on infrastructure and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know what all that's going to bring or what they kind of do, but should be fun for sure. Yeah, autocorrect sucks sometimes. It actually gets you all the time. I ain't miss it. Did you have them stinky? Dog? That would pet skunks. You gotta get that little stinky pulled out. What'd you send me, James? I forget that does that. My Rumble Studio won't let me click on stuff in the chat. It'll let me send stuff in the chat, but it won't let me click on stuff. It's weird. It's weird like that. We got one more cat video. Thanks to James. South Cedar Paranormal. And so them cats would go wild. Wild and natural. I'd be scared of them things spraying me. But I guess it's just like having a cat, though. Pepe Le Pew used to think that cat was a skunk on Looney Tunes. I think they've shamed it. I don't even think they show Pepe Le Pew no more because they talk bad about him now. That is quite a jump, James. But yeah, I appreciate y'all being here. Make sure you check out all the sites. Make sure you check out the links in the description. Check out adaptability. I'm tired now. Adaptabilityhome.com. That's Jamie and Whitney's, where they can turn around and help people if you need help. Check out their site. And if you need companion care, dementia care, hygiene, personal care, like housekeeping, organization, laundry, meal planning, local transportation, adaptive living training. So if you just got hurt where you just need help, they'll help you with fall prevention. They're both, for the ones that don't know, both of them are disabled, Jamie and Whitney. Whitney got no legs. But her spirit and everything, she is an amazing person. And, she overcome all that. Check out WhitneyLavender.com with her book. It's pretty inspirational. So check that out. Check out the bonfire link for the merch. So you can get you a shirt if you want to, support the channel. Of course, right now we are not monetized whatsoever, but we're here having fun and appreciate everybody coming. And I guess people are paying attention because people keep asking to come on the show. So I appreciate y'all as always. I appreciate y'all coming back. Sorry I had the mic trouble earlier. I guess I got to put a different cord on that one. I guess that cord went out. It's the only thing it could be, but I can't change. Once I pull that cord, I can't switch it back while I'm recording. That's part of the setup. So, oh, nice. Appreciate it, Don. As always, y'all keep on keeping on. I appreciate all the chat. LJ, I appreciate you being here almost the whole night. I know James, I appreciate you coming in after you were done with your shows. You got done doing your recordings and came. Check out South Cedar Paranormal. Especially with spooky season coming up, it's the right time to be getting into some paranormal stories now. And appreciate everybody else. Matt's Isle, Wally's World, Dawn, Lily. I'm not sure who's still hanging out with us. I know it's gotten late. But Indy and Tate, Joey popped in. Let's see what else we got going on here. Of course, Sweets. Sweets is number one here. And so, like I said, I do appreciate y'all. As always, it's much love. We had a bunch of chat here. I shout out a bunch of earlier. As always, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on. I'm gonna keep growing, see what I can do, keep adding to it. Appreciate it, Tate. Glad you enjoyed it. We said it was pretty cool having Mike Gatto here for the first part. That was pretty amazing, actually. So, as always, y'all keep on keeping on. And peace and chicken grease, and y'all be good. I know Shane said something about. I just said that, and I'm gonna keep on talking. Shane said something about want to do another podcast, so we'll probably maybe him get together soon, and we'll go live again. Last Friday we did a surprise one, and it was really good. So if you hadn't checked it out, go back and check it out. It was the first part is a little rough. You're gonna have to get past the first like 15 minutes because of technical troubles, but after that it turned into a very great show, very great between Shane and Karen Carpenter going back and forth for a little while. It was really, really good. So if you hadn't get to listen to that, y'all go back and check that out. It was really good. It was a good talk. Like I said, skip past the first 15 minutes because it was people trying to get on and dropping and just me rambling on there in the first few minutes. So once Shane takes off, he's on. So like I said, I'm glad y'all here. Yeah, thanks, Hiker. Thank you for posting and reposting. Thanks for all the ones that reposted. How we get ourselves out here. So, all right, I'm gonna stop rambling. Much love. Be good. See y'all later.